Neither do I.
Yeah. Like, I know I'm usually one for like, now here's my firmly held loud opinion. And I'm just like, I don't fucking know. So who's ready to make a podcast?
Me.
Fantastic. All right. 3,
2.
1.
Hey everybody, welcome to Possible Coin.
No, get the fuck out. No, this is game of the year. I don't have time for your shit, Ducky. Get the fuck out.
Where
This
we
is going to be like a 6-hour podcast, please.
Where we talk about the very best of what's happened in cryptocurrency.
No.
In the course of the last year.
I'm leaving the call.
Yeah, I'll catch you later, Teeks.
I'm your host, Duck and Sequoia. I'm joined today by Neckhole. Neckhole, how are you? Neckhole? Rocky Hardy? How are you?
I'm still alive.
That's really good. I'm very excited about like the omnidirectional potential of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, that's gibberish. I'm sorry.
What do you mean that's gibberish?
As in, it is a cavalcade of words that have no real meaning.
Look, Rocky, what I'm here to tell you is that quantum balances in crypto wallets are primed for advances. It's going to be next level.
So, like, we like joking about, like, seemingly nonsensical terms on the show, but we actually don't trade in gibberish. You're going to have to stop, or I will oust you from this call.
So, what I would like to do is I'm planning on crowdfunding a new platform. I think you might be interested.
I don't think so, no.
The idea is that it's going to be a place for erotic adult content where you're the only purchaser of each piece of content. No one else will have the video. No one else will have the photo. You truly will be the only fan.
Okay, you do know that, like, adult content was passed on, or rather, adult content creators passed on NFTs like 6 years ago. Like, they saw the shit and they said, this is garbage, and they moved on. You do know that, right?
They didn't have the full power of Duck and Sequoia, though.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, sure. It's like, yeah, you've never had a night with me or same bullshit. I bet they passed on that too, right? Like, ugh.
Rocky, what if all of your Christmas tree ornaments were NFTs?
Once again, gibberish, right? Because, oh my god. Fucking Christmas ornaments are already physical items, right? So you already have them. So, like, why would I need a digital representation of a Christmas ornament on the blockchain? What benefit does that afford me?
It enhances the value.
Dude, they're already Christmas ornaments. They're already collectibles, man. Like, what are you talking about right now?
If you think that just having a Christmas tree ornament without validated proof of ownership on the blockchain is enough, that's right-click thinking, Rocky. That's right-click thinking. Is that through the power of the blockchain, validated certificates are the future.
Really? How are they the future? They've been on websites since that fucking, like, 1991.
Validated certificates are what provide value.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. That doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, unless you believe in the certificates, and, you know, I don't want to insult your faith. Like, that's not what I'm interested in doing here. Because, you know, we respect all faiths here at Impossible Coin, but, like, don't drag me on it, man. I don't, it's not my jam. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
Rocky, do you believe that dollars are real?
I believe that they are made of paper. I believe they can be exchanged for goods and services.
So why not decentralize the dollar?
Then if it's not centralized, then how can any of us believe in it? Why would we believe in it? What point is it?
It's through omni-mapping the quantum dollar.
Okay, see, those are 4 words. I know they're words. I know they have meaning separately, but together they don't mean anything at all. I'm sorry.
And that's why I'm here to launch 2 products. First,
2 products now. Okay.
2 products. You know, like we still have the erotic OnlyFan project in the chute, but 2 things that are ready to go today. Ready to go today.
Yeah, okay.
Are my cryptocurrency, Lettuce Coin.
Yeah, okay, sure, fine.
Lettuce Coin.
Mm-hmm.
And then my NFT marketplace, Turretville.
Turretville, huh?
Turretville.
Okay, that's right. You actually still owe Tegan for those turrets. We haven't forgotten.
And I tell you, here at Turretville, there are non-fungible turrets.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. You'll love it.
What's fantastic about them?
Validated certificates of ownership.
That's fantastic. That is encapsulating a fantasy. Why would I fantasize about validated certificates, Duckett? What kind of sense does that make?
It's next level.
Oh my god. Can you leave? Where the fuck is Brian? Is you lock him in his bathroom again?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to go take a shit.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Rocky, ready to start Game of the Year?
Game of the Year is in 3 weeks. We're doing industry roundup today, man.
Okay, well, it's part of the Game of the Year process, Rocky. Come on.
I suppose that's true.
Okay. All right, where's Tegan?
Teagues, you still in here?
Tegan is not on the call.
We gotta go grab Teagues. Give me 1 second, all right?
Is he
Okay.
gone?
Yeah, he's gone. He's
Okay,
gone.
Fuck. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Brian, I am once again asking you to change the locks on your doors.
What are you guys talking about?
He has no idea, Teagues. You know this. Come on.
I know.
He's like
It's
recording.
like he's a ghost and he haunts Brian's house.
He just like hacks in from some undisclosed location. I don't even think he's actually in Brian's house anymore.
Like, what? Like, seriously? Like, oh. Wait a minute. Was Baron Bob Tepish here?
Nah,
no,
Tepish
not
is
Baron
cool.
Bob Tepish.
Yeah, people
You
Tepish.
invited Tepish in, that's different.
Yeah, you got invited.
No, it's fucking Duckett.
Man.
He wants to
That
sell
guy.
non-fungible turrets, apparently. So we'll see how that goes. I hope he loses a bunch of money.
He's gonna lose a bunch of my money. Those are my turrets.
Also, he's trying to sell NFTs to sex workers like they didn't already fail. Like, holy shit.
Oh yeah, fair, valid.
He sent me an email about something called Lettuce Coin. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine. Just, just let it flow into your spam folder. That's what I do.
On the plus side, that is not the shittiest thing we are going to talk about today.
Oh, yeah, that's
Episode
right.
1 of our Game of the Year conversation, where we talk about our industry retrospective. I did such a good job on that. Like...
Yeah, like, honestly, it feels like if there was any time for Duck at the show, when we're marking the worst dog shit of the year, I hesitate to say actually does feel like an appropriate time.
Right, honestly.
It would be wild if one of these years we just have nothing but good news for some reason. Like, we just show up and it's like, hey, like, apparently the gaming industry was sick. Everyone was super cool. Like, we got, like, 6 new unions announced at major publishers. Like, everyone, like, whatever. But, like,
That is literally going to happen after I take over the ESA. Or yeah.
It's
ESRB,
ESA.
And I can't they can't bribe their way into the Game of the Year conversation anymore.
Oh, man.
I saw an article on Hard Drive this week that both made me laugh and made me sad.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
And for, I guess, anybody at home who doesn't know what Hard Drive is, it's essentially the Onion, but for the game industry. Mm-hmm. And Hard Drive read an article which was, solo dev ashamed to report that he abuses himself.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. That was pretty good. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, for people who may be new here, that's entirely cool. Hello.
Welcome.
Yeah, we're Impossible Coin. We do a weekly podcast, mostly about video games, to be honest. Sometimes we dick around at the beginning. It happens. We're here with Brian Cartwright, Podfather. I'm Rocky Hardy, and I'm here with Tegan Somerset. And we are going to do our Game of the Year content. Normally, our first week is an industry retrospective, talking about the things that happened in the video game industry over the course of the year. Just to put ourselves in perspective when we start talking about, games that we cared about, like personally.
And it's all a road that leads to the final week of this spectacular, where Rocky, Tegan Somerset, and myself will put together a ranked list of 10 games of the year, which I think that you can probably use as like a strong reco list. Like if you're looking for like I want some good damn games. Like, I've always been pretty proud of our top 10s. So.
We
Yeah,
definitely stand by them.
our top 10 is definitely, I think, a little more like bespoke, a little more handcrafted, because we don't accept industry money because we are a baby podcast. So you cannot buy your way onto our list. It's only stuff we've actually played and only stuff we actually enjoyed.
Yeah. People have been with us for a while. You'll notice that we aren't going to do this the bloody way anymore. This used to be a very cutthroat, violent type of thing that we used to do, cutting to our top 10s and our superlatives and whatever. And so after this week, we're going to do a show where we just talk about games that we resonated with. We're going to take some space to talk about the stuff that we cared about, that we had fun with, that spoke to us specifically throughout the year. And then we'll do our own like individual like top 5s. Just give ourselves some space for that. And then we will then come together to put together our numbered top 10.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. We did it this way last year, and it was a good time. It worked out well. And when we had our section on games that we resonated with, it also gave us a space to talk about some games that didn't necessarily come out this year, but we still spent some time with this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that both Rocky and Tegan have been streaming a lot this year, and so like I'm expecting that means that we'll probably hear about like Tales of Symphonia and Breath of the Wild.
We're gonna hear about Tales of Arise. I'm
not sure if I'm really going to talk about Tales of Symphonia this year. I still very much like it, but it was more of like a lead into Arise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I will talk about Skyward Sword.
Be
ready. I'm doing the prep work, so you don't have to. Watch the VODs.
Oh, man. Okay, but yeah, back to our industry retrospective. We're going to start with Q1, just the stuff that we covered going through January and March. It's a little light, but it's okay. It's definitely going to balloon as we get closer to the end of the year. The first thing that we're going to talk about is, our Wall Street bets basically came together as a bunch of, oh God, what were they called? They were like a bunch of 4chaners with like a Bloomberg terminal, whatever they call themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they came together behind this guy. Oh, what was his name? Was it Deep Fucking Value?
Mr. Deep Fucking Value.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Deep Fucking Value, who decided to punish the people who were shorting the GameStop stock and shot it up to, I think it peaked around $550 a share?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something like that.
It was something truly insane. And it was specifically to punish the people who had bet against it. And like, to be fair, GameStop hadn't been doing that well as a company, and they had fallen to like something I think as low as like $4 a share, like the previous like summer.
Yes, they had.
And there was one guy, Deep Fucking Value, who's like, you know what? I know we're gonna be able to hit them when they try to call in this short. So he's been buying in little buys. I want to say little buys, but he was actually buying like 50K worth of stock like at a time. And I think he walked off with something like $12 million at the end of it once he sold all his stuff. And then they were like interviewed by like the SEC or something. To see if
Mr. Deep Fucking Value had to testify before Congress.
There it was, before Congress.
That whole thing was wild.
True enough, yeah.
And it's one of those things where like it became more and more apparent as like time went on, and there was like better writing about Mr. Deep Fucking Value, that really what he had done was like establish a cult of personality, so that way like he could get like casual day trading investors to like shore up his large position.
Right.
You know, like he could give a shit about like all this stuff, like, you know, like Daddy's going to take us to Mars, you know, we're getting on the rocket. Like all that stuff was just like dog shit to get nerds to like shore up his short position. Like
It worked.
It fucking worked.
It begs the question if like having a charisma stat is just like that powerful nowadays, or just like nerds that vulnerable to charisma. You know
why
what I mean?
not both? Fred?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. It's very likely that it is both.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think in the right position, a charisma stat is like the most powerful thing, you know?
Yeah.
But also, I think there are a lot of like deep internet people who are still like clinging to that like thought that like being a nerd means I'm an outcast and no one likes me. So like,
yeah,
when...
and it's like chill out.
Yeah, and so like, But that means, like, when someone comes along and is like, no, listen, I have faith in the power of you, the deep internet people. I am one of you, and here's how we make billions of dollars. They're all just like, you know what? Fuck yeah, that guy gets me.
Oh,
you know?
No. Oh, God. So what we need to do, we got to start cultivating, like, the weebs that have, like, been displaced by society or whatever. I don't want to do that. I don't want to live my life that way, actually. Fuck.
Yeah, honestly, no. No, thank you. But
yeah. The next thing that we covered around that time, which is going to become a recurring theme, so pay attention, is that the Activision lawsuits began. And it was before the toxic workplace allegations came to light, but it was specifically about stealing a Call of Duty original character. There was a writer who claimed that a game developer used their character design and submitted evidence of artwork that they had commissioned and, like, character descriptions that were publicized, like, in their, like, you know, novel. And that was picked up by, like, apparently the Call of Duty art team, like, straight up lifted and then just put into Call of Duty.
And as I recall, he had also, like, commissioned a cosplayer, like, to...
That's right, yeah.
To
model it?
her, like, reference stuff so
right.
that she could model it. Yep.
And, like... Yep. You look at the COD model, and it's just clearly just the fucking cosplayer.
It's just the cosplayer. So not only did they steal someone's OC, they also stole the likeness of a cosplayer. So like, that's a double whammy there.
Yeah.
Actually, does that have, like, a date? Did that get settled? I don't remember.
I have not seen any follow-up media coverage on it.
Yeah.
But, like,
I think there's just too much other stuff going on at this point.
It's one of those things where, like, if some guy burst into the newsroom and is like, Rocky, I've got 2 Activision stories. One says that they're a giant pyramid of rape. The other one says they settled a lawsuit. I'm probably going with pyramid of rape. Like,
I mean, yeah, I get that. I do understand that. Oh, dear Lord. Yeah.
That's a spoiler, everybody.
Also, this is just a tiny thing that just gets woven into the Q1 Activision covers that they did hire a woman that was affiliated with the Bush administration that is widely panned as a torture apologist as their chief communications officer. Well, so at the time, I think I actually said that it looks like Activision Blizzard is preparing to defend themselves from claims of glamorizing war crimes, and, you know, it just turned out to be something else. I still think I was pretty close. It turned out to be
something a little bit different, but still pretty fucking bad.
Yeah. Moving on from Activision Blizzard, we'll come back to them later. CD Projekt Red was the target of a data theft. And then the data, I believe, was actually offered for sale on dark web markets. I don't remember if they actually found a seller. I guess we wouldn't actually know unless we talked to the seller themselves. But that did totally happen, and CD Projekt Red did try to downplay it for a very long time. And then there was like a publicized like ransom letter addressing CD Projekt Red that like we crypto-locked your shit and copied all your files and we're going to make them public. And then they offered to sell them and then they just kind of disappeared. So
it was like all of the source code for Cyberpunk 2077 and like several other games. Mm-hmm. Wild.
And Rocky, where was it sold again?
On the dark web?
I mean, the dark web.
There it is.
The dark web.
God, I'm actually really looking forward to Letterkenny. I'm a little mad that I don't live in Canada and have Crave, so I can't watch it Christmas morning. I gotta watch it the day after, but you know, we take what we can get, I suppose.
You gotta watch it on Boxing Day. On the plus side, that means you can experience your Christmas morning uninterrupted by the television.
True enough. Also, Roblox. You guys remember Roblox? You know, the weird blocky dudes? They went public and they were evaluated at $45.3 billion as a platform. So, you know, they overnight were valued at a level that rivaled major publishers and even a couple platform holders. Well, I think only one platform holder, which is specifically Nintendo. But, yeah, Roblox was a going concern. I think that's what inspired Brian to start investigating Roblox as a platform and trying to see what all of it was about.
Yeah, it's been a fucking thing. I think that, like, I can only speak for me here, but I feel like I have in the past been guilty of thinking of major game platform holders in like very old-fashioned thinking. Like, I was at least smart enough to go like, okay, PCs, that's a platform, you know, but like not thinking of like a single piece of software as a platform itself. Like,
yeah,
like that caught me by surprise. There's a thing that happened this week, which I guess like probably isn't in this roundup because we don't have fresh news this week, but is, I think, kind of reflective of the quality of this story, which is that Epic bought Harmonix. Right. And they're like, the reason that they bought Harmonix, which is like not a small company, they bought Harmonix to bring music experiences to Fortnite.
For people who don't know, Harmonix are the Guitar Hero people, and they made a bunch of Guitar Hero games. Like, you don't see them anymore, because, you know, they, well, there's a handful of reasons, but Epic Games, the people who made Fortnite, decided to buy Harmonix because they wanted to put more music-focused experiences in Fortnite. So these people are just going to be coding, you know, music stuff for Fortnite for the rest of their lives, I guess. Who knows?
And that's kind of like what I'm trying to like wrap my mind around here, and I think something that like we all had to get used to is that like Fortnite is a platform. Oh yeah, you know, you know, like when they said in the fucking like Epic versus Apple lawsuit, they're like, Fortnite's a platform. It's not just a game. It's like, well, this is a thing where two things can be simultaneously true at the same time. Like, Fortnite is a game. Fortnite is also a platform. But, like, I don't think that we necessarily had fully, like, wrapped our head around the idea that, like, a single piece of software as a launcher can be, like, a major platform holder. Like, I didn't realize until Roblox went public that like Roblox was a platform holder on the level that, say, like the box makers are. It blew me the fuck away, that realization. You guys have any thoughts or feels?
I'm not gonna say I like publicly fronted on Roblox because that's not what happened. I just, you know, didn't pay attention to them.
Yeah.
I didn't really know that Roblox was a platform before this year. Like I knew that it was a thing that kids played, and like maybe it was a big thing, and that's cool and all, but like I didn't know that like there were some what are they called now, experiences on Roblox that had like more than 1 billion like plays apparently. Yeah. That's nuts to me. I was not considering that at all. And you know, digging into like what the platform is and how it works, which is another thing that we're going to come back to because there was more news over the course of the year, was deeply interesting to me.
I mean, okay, just as a point of reference, right now on Roblox, I just went ahead and I opened up Roblox on my phone. There are, what is this, like Sunday, like morning, afternoon, on Thanksgiving weekend?
Morning, afternoon,
yes.
Yeah.
There are 364,000 people playing Adopt Me right now.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts. Yeah.
That is one game on the Roblox platform.
You
know?
Like Steam eats your heart out.
Yeah, like, it's like, how many fucking games are there on Steam right now which have over 300,000 concurrent players?
Gonna tell you the truth, not a lot.
Yeah. Now, that's fucking crazy. But yeah.
I never understood what people spent money on in Roblox either until we started like covering this. You know?
Remember the Gucci story?
Yeah.
Oh my god, the Gucci story. God damn.
And they got a movie out, House of Gucci, like Gaga's in it, and then, you know, like fucking Jared Leto's like out here embarrassing Italians and shit. Like, what the fuck? Oh my god.
The world is wild. Parents, I hope you are actively like checking in on what the fuck your kids are playing on Roblox.
Please keep an eye out on Roblox, parents. Like, it's actually it's a bigger deal than you think. Like,
I know, like, there are a lot of conversations about like how millennial parents mostly at this point just like give their kids an iPad and like walk away. Like, please pay attention to the media that your kids are consuming. Like, please do it, you know?
Because I have to let you know, millennial parents who are just handing the iPad to the kids and then walking away, in the future there will be only 4 video games. And
fuck you, Brian.
And
Like, I will die before there are only 4 video games, I promise.
There will be only 4 video games. One of them will still be The Legend of Zelda.
No, Tegan, you might be able to play the Legend of Zelda experience in either Minecraft or Fortnite.
If I have to learn how to play Minecraft or Fortnite in order to continue to play the Legend of Zelda series, I will simply no longer be a Zelda fan.
Well, I mean...
That sounds fair.
So, the 4 video games will be Roblox, Minecraft, Fortnite, and Facebook.
Well, I guess I'll go back to Farmville then. Fuck.
No, what we're going to do, like, Tegan, those are the video games that most people know about. What we're going to do, we're going to retreat into the dark web and cultivate a society that plays video games that actually artistically express people's experiences and, like, imagines better worlds instead of, a thing to, like, waste people's time.
That's how we make our money on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hell yeah.
You know what? I'm down.
And things certainly didn't get any better in Q2.
Well, yeah.
They got a little bit better, and then they got a lot worse.
Yeah.
So, Reggie Fils-Aimé departed GameStop's board of directors.
Yeah, that wasn't a great sign, honestly.
I mean, I feel like he was kind of brought in as a mascot.
A little bit.
I feel like his opinions weren't actually respected, which is too bad.
Well, I mean, like we will discuss later on, again, with Activision, is that, like, a board seat's a board seat. Like, it votes, but it sits on the board.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like Reggie would have had any more power than anybody else on the board.
Sure.
He was brought in because, like, people know and respect and love Reggie's face. And they're like, see, look, buy your games here despite our terrible business practices. Because Reggie, please.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get that's what GameStop wanted, but, like, while I don't think a board seat would have afforded Reggie a lot of power, I think it may have afforded him access.
Yeah.
And I think he has enough savvy to, like, do something useful with that, but I think, like, Reggie leaving, I mean, maybe if he was kicked out, that's different, but, like, if Reggie left because he thought, I can't do anything here, that's the thing that stood out to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're a sinking ship.
That Chewy guy apparently has a plan, as far as we know.
Jesus. We'll fucking see.
Mm-hmm.
We will fucking see.
True enough.
Rachel Valkyrie?
Valkyrie.
Yeah. It's like Valkyrie, but like Ray at the end.
Yeah.
All right. Rachel Hofstetter became a co-owner of 100 Thieves.
Oh, yeah. Good for her, honestly.
And as I recall, the reaction to this was like, yeah, no. Like, when we covered this earlier this year, I was like...
It was very much, like, good for her. And this is our first in a series of, like, this group of Twitch streamers going on to do stuff outside of Twitch. Because later, in technically, I think Q4.
I think it's Q4.
Mm-hmm. We get another one from this particular group of streamers who goes on to do something else with their power and money and stuff.
The only thing I know, like, if you were to say to me, Brian, 100 Thieves, go, what do you know? I'd be like, isn't the OK Boomer girl there? That's all I got.
Oh, yeah. But they actually, they run a couple of, like, pro esport teams.
Right.
They run a very middling, like, League of Legends team and a pretty solid, like, Call of Duty League team. If I remember correctly. So, like, people who, like, play those games, it's like, oh, shit, 100 Thieves? Like, Valkyrie co-owns 100 Thieves? That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I just derailed myself.
Mm-hmm.
And
no.
Yeah, no, because I was like, okay, Boomer, that's all I know about 100 Thieves. And so, of course, I, like, pulled up a tab to see, like, what's going on Nico Lul's Twitter right now.
Okay.
And she has changed her name on Twitter to No Nut Nico.
Oh, shit, let's go.
And she has 2 tweets that derailed me. One that says, I want to shake my ass on Santa Claus.
Sure.
Number 3.
Mm-hmm. It's not a 3, it's a smiley face. Mischievous smiley face.
Oh, it is mischievous smiley face.
Yes. And then, thankful for simps, happy gobble gobble day.
That seems on brand for her.
Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, Boomer. Excuse me while I go out into the desert and find the cow skull.
No, Brian, you gotta finish Q2, Jesus.
Look, that's what I'm doing.
If American cartoons have taught me anything, you don't have to go that far into the desert to find the cow skull.
Tegan, I assure you, I live in a desert. You gotta go pretty far.
No.
You really fucking do.
No, you just gotta, like, be able to pan back over to the city. Like, you don't have to go that far.
No, I'm sorry, Teeks.
That's
not really how it works. That's how animation budgets work. That's not how deserts work.
Oh.
Okay. Tegan, let me tell you the thing that you're going to find in the desert first.
Mm-hmm. Scorpions.
Abandoned washing machine that people use to shoot at.
Oh, true. Yeah. Those are pretty common.
What?
You see, it's like Rocky Notes. It's like, if you know, you know. Like,
it's a big target. People got guns. They got more bullets than they ever need. So, like, they just shoot at shit.
and they're like, I'm bored. I live in the desert. Let's go. And like,
oh, God.
like, and there's usually like the spot where you find all of the things that people shoot at in the desert. In Phoenix, it's north of town. It's a place called Table Mesa Road, which is the dumbest name for a road ever.
Which is table.
Yeah,
I was like, wait, that's Table Road.
It is Table Road. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. If you go down Table Mesa Road, you see just like a whole bunch of like large shit that people have dumped out in the desert to shoot at. Mm-hmm. Like so many washing machines. No cow skulls. Plenty of washing machines. Ugh.
I think what you need to do now, Brian, this is what I think your new calling is. You have to buy a bunch of cow skulls and put them on top of all of the washing machines.
I would love that quest for you, Brian. That sounds beautiful.
It does sound like a good quest.
Brian, what else happened in Q2?
So, PS3s and PS4s internal batteries started to die. And I guess I'll qualify this here. PS4 batteries didn't necessarily start dying, but once the PS3 battery started dying, the heroes out there, the hardware tinkerers were like, let's find out what happens when PS4 batteries die. And so they started to disable their batteries. Mm-hmm. Because there was like data starting to be gathered about PS3s.
Yeah.
At which point, like, it was discovered what happens when the PS3's batteries die. It can't play any game that was purchased from the Sony online shop. And when PS4 batteries would die, it wouldn't be able to play any games at all.
Just to clarify for anyone who wants to get technical about this, what we're talking about is the CMOS battery inside of a PS4. And that's the one that runs the device's internal clock. And so if the internal clock's battery dies, then it can't call home to Sony. And so it can't verify that you're allowed to play anything on the system.
And this is not just limited to digital games, also physical games.
Correct.
Right. And that's why I wanted to provide the clarification, because the PS3 at least had the
local games, yeah.
Yeah, like you could at least still stick a disc into the PS3 and it would go. But like the PS4 was like, we don't give a shit about your disc.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? Who the fuck are you? I've never seen you before in my life.
It doesn't matter if I have 900 hours of this game data saved on my fucking hard drive. Never seen this game before. It does not exist.
You're a stranger in my house.
I don't know you.
That's my purse.
So, like, when this happened, I remember, like, a cartoon came out that I loved, which was, like, it shows, like, a confused PS3 that was like, I don't know what to do, and it shows a PS4. The PS4 is like, I don't know what to do, and then it shows a Dreamcast, and Dreamcast is like, oh, man, what time is it? Put Power Stone 2 in.
Oh, man. To our credit, and I mean us, the people, once this became public, people started cyberbullying Sony until they eventually fixed it with a software update. But, like, yeah, we had to cyberbully them.
That is fucking wild. It got hard. Sony, like, did their thing where they tried to defend it for, like...
They fucking did.
They stood behind that shit for a full week. And they're like, there are like choices. There were like reasons we made this choice. And, like,
we're like, yeah, what the fuck are they? Can you tell them to us?
Right. It's like, you've essentially turned all of your boxes into long-term rentals. Like, you know, rental over when battery die. Like
they deadass were like, hey, no, it's totally cool. You guys are gonna like this choice. Why don't you want to buy the PS5? And it's like, oh, God. It's so good.
Yeah. And it's good that you invoke the PS5 specifically because, again, real heroes, opened a PS5, took out the CMOS battery to find out if, you know, what would happen then, and discovered that the PS5 does two things differently than its predecessors. One, it captures time and date data from like local Wi-Fi networks. So it's like, oh, okay, like here's the time. And if there isn't time and date data available, it is still immediately able to play locally offered content. Mm-hmm. So discs. And after a update on the PS5 was also able to play
like digital games for up to a week without going online to check. Oh, a week, huh?
Yeah, it's not perfect. Mm-hmm. The idea like, oh, well, you need to check in with mommy once a week. And like, so there's still a way to go on the PS5, but
yeah,
it's at least starting off from a better position than the PS4, which was just like, get fucked, this is a brick to throw into the sea.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But once again, this has been fixed, like specifically. It has been corrected with a software update, so you no longer have to worry about this issue, so you can thank the anime avatars who cyberbully Sony until they fix this shit.
You're welcome.
Oh.
The only thing you can thank them for, frankly.
Don't thank them for anything else. Like, their heads will get too big.
The pot started to heat at Activision.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Yes. Yes, it did.
Yeah. See, as I recall, this like Hearthstone story was about toxicity, not on the Hearthstone team specifically, but it was like about how like Activision was doing nothing to like stop sexism in the Hearthstone scene, like the esports scene. Yeah, that's what this was. Mm-hmm. Right. So like the Hearthstone esports scene is a incredibly sexist and toxic place.
Sounds about right.
And also historically an incredibly racist place.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
And Activision would do nothing and hand wave and say that they're taking steps, and then nothing would change. And like it took several like women who are professional Hearthstone players to like stand up and be like, this is dog shit, here's why this is dog shit. Mm-hmm. In order for any like real attention to be put behind it. One of the things that got brought up was like how if you look at like, you know, like end of season rankings, and it looks like men are disproportionately invited to like invitationals for Hearthstone.
Well, it's because they were.
Yeah.
That's true.
It is in fact that they were. And like it took like some pro Hearthstone players who are men being like, I'm going to give up my seat at this fucking invitational because there are too many men invited, in order for like Activision to be like, oh. But again, like, this really just felt like the fucking front end of the Gathering Storm, you know, like the idea that like...
Yeah, it really did.
You know, like the fact that like Activision Blizzard was paying no real attention to like toxic environment for women, like,
It's like, gee, I wonder why they wouldn't pay attention to toxic environments for women at their competitions. And it turns out that's just how they act at home.
Yeah. You know, when people don't flush at home, they don't flush when they go to a friend's house. Like,
no, but we'll get there. Brian, come on.
Yeah. Also, the last member of Blizzard's old guard, like people who were members of like Blizzard's creative team when the company started, left.
Young Sword and Shield boys.
Yeah. So like Jeff Kaplan leaving Blizzard was a thing that like felt like an enormous deal, because it was an enormous deal.
It was an enormous deal.
Because like people will tell you about like these storied early days of Blizzard, like how it used to be like this magic place to work, and how it was a place with all these like interesting creative ideas. And like Jeff Kaplan leaving was like, oh, Blizzard is something different now.
Yeah.
I think this was like the moment it kind of like got solidified for everybody. Yeah. I know that we're not really an Overwatch podcast. Like none of us seem to be like deeply invested in like the Overwatch scene, but like it felt like a bad thing from like an outside observer of that scene, because
it was crazy bad. Like it was legitimately horrific. They were planning an Overwatch 2.
Yeah, they were working on Overwatch 2. And then they were like, don't worry, everything will be fine, because the other person who's in charge of Overwatch is still here. And then, like, I think shortly after, they also left. And it was like, don't worry, though, it'll be fine. We just have to delay the game a little bit. And then it just got worse.
And then it just got worse.
Which has definitely been the story of Activision Blizzard this year. And then it just got worse.
Oh, but they try to... They try to get ahead of it, right, Brian?
Oh yeah. So this will, and we'll hear this song again later. So Bobby Kotick, CEO of Activision Blizzard, and I guess philanthropic keeper of the peace, nobly declared that he was going to cut his salary to $875,000 a year. It did not impact his like earnings potential with bonuses and
Not
stock.
even close. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, he's like just the money part, you know, the money part. We're going to cut that to $875,000. The roof on like what he could earn each year based on like bonuses and stock was still like around $3.5 million.
Yep.
And like people were like, yeah, that's dog shit.
It's only the beginning though.
Again, I'm really not convinced that the fucking Activision Blizzard story doesn't end until like Bobby Kotick and like 6 other guys are like holed up in a bunker in Germany called the Eagle's Nest, and they're handing out like little cups of cyanide. Like,
oh my god,
that's where it ends. GameStop stonks continued to make deep fucking value money.
Oh yeah, they took on the AMC strategy, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and there were a variety of stocks for like obviously dead companies that are walking around wearing the skin of living companies that just like got boosted by like various dorks who thought that they had all of a sudden become like stock geniuses, and their strategy was just like, what's the name of something that nobody wants anymore? I know AMC, I know Bed Bath and Beyond. And like,
I mean, I don't know about Bed Bath and Beyond, but like AMC paid off their debts. Like they made,
AMC did the smart thing, honestly.
they sold a bunch of stock and they made like $900 million or some bullshit.
Oh, I'm sorry. How is getting a bailout from like a fucking hedge fund? Like AMC didn't do anything. Like,
No. I think they reacted to the situation. I don't think they like cultivated it. I don't think this was their plan.
They didn't do anything like additional. They didn't do anything to like improve the stuff. They just went, we can use this money to not owe other people a ton of money, and that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know.
And I kind of want to follow the chain of custody on this money, is so that like AMC was in a position where like the short position was going to get called and a whole bunch of people were going to get fucked.
Right.
And so like a hedge fund, which held a lot of that short position, gave AMC a bunch of money with no strings attached.
Correct.
And basically leaned on them and said, now we're not going to tell you how to spend this money, but here are some great ideas that we think would just really spruce up the home.
That's some Henrik Hartong logic for sure.
Yeah, that's what happened. So it like there was a hedge fund whose short position was gonna get fucked, and they gave AMC money to protect their larger short position, which I think is the very definition of throwing good money after bad. But like, what is?
Maybe so. Yeah.
My other favorite ones included Bed Bath and Beyond and the holdings company, which has the assets for Blockbuster Video. So, like, the Blockbuster Holdings asset company normally was trading at 2 cents a share, but these fucking nitwits managed to get up to 50 cents a share. They're like, we're bringing back Blockbuster Video. I'm like, you're not bringing back Blockbuster Video, you fucking idiot man children.
I think my favorite one was Sundial Growers, like, who's currently trading at like 65 cents right now, but like they were definitely at like $12, $15 like 6 months ago or something.
God, these idiot children. Every one of them posted pictures of fucking Shiba Inus riding on rockets. Like,
no, but Dogecoin made it to like what was it, like half a cent or some bullshit? No, it was 0.69 cents. Or was it actually 69 cents? I can't remember. Dogecoin is insane. I don't care. Whatever. Continue.
yeah, God, these people. Fuck them. Fuck them. Just like this, a totally wild cult of personality.
Yeah.
The Epic versus Apple lawsuit concluded, and we, the observers of this trial, can only conclude that the biggest winner in it was the judge.
Well, I mean, Peely was confirmed as a banana man.
Oh, God. Okay, Rocky, thank you for reminding me of my favorite thing.
You're welcome.
Like, the quote from the court documents, Peely is, in fact, just a banana man. Like,
Someone had to write that.
Honestly.
It's in the Library of Congress now or some bullshit. Oh, my God.
God damn it. I don't care what they said. Peely's not, that's the peanut butter jelly time banana. 100%.
Okay. No, but talk about the end of the trial.
okay, so nobody totally won.
Oh, of course not.
Right.
I mean, like, Apple basically won. They did win 9 out of 10, but you know.
Right. The big loss for Apple is that they now have to allow apps which they allow onto the store to accept payment using alternate payment processors.
Right.
But, here's the giant but, the judge did not find Apple to be a monopoly and says that Apple can continue to, like, hold exclusive rights over, like, what gets onto the App Store and what doesn't get onto the App Store. And, like, yes, what gets onto the App Store has to be allowed to have an alternate payment processor, but Apple still gets to ultimately decide what gets onto the App Store in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, this and, like, the antitrust suit that was levied at Steam later in what we're talking about, but earlier this year, both point to the fact that antitrust laws are antiquated. There are things that antitrust laws are supposed to do, and there are problems that antitrust laws, at least in a modern context, would be able to deal with. Mm-hmm. And they can't, because those laws don't apply to what's happening right now. Which, again, if someone happens to write an update to the antitrust laws that include the kind of technical bullshit that's happening right now, I'm probably going to yell about it on this podcast. It's a thing that's going to happen. But the big problem with, like, Apple versus Epic and the later, like, Wolfram Games versus, like, Steam, which we may talk about, I think it's on here, is that the antitrust laws were not designed to deal with the problems that are happening right now. And the solution is not to try to make them fit those things, but to write new laws. And someone needs to write those and get them passed. But, you know, as far as Congress goes, as far as, like, making new things happen, that's not a thing that Congress does anymore, apparently. But, you know, here's hoping.
Like, I think that the idea that, like, our antitrust laws are antiquated and unable to support dealing with, like, modern monopolies is frankly horseshit.
Okay.
The Sherman Antitrust Act says that it prohibits anti-competitive agreements and it prohibits unilateral conduct that monopolizes or attempts to monopolize a relevant market.
Right. But, like, I think the big problem is that, like, Steam and, like, Apple, they're like markets unto themselves. And as far as, like, the overall market as a whole, Steam is probably not a great example because they do pull in, like, a lot of the revenue as far as the PC gaming market goes. But the Apple App Store is an important market for anyone that wants to sell an app to people who use cell phones. As far as, like, the overall market share, like, they don't have it. Like, it's something like 12-15% as a whole. And, like, even though that is an incredible amount of money once you start counting it, like, as far as, like, the market share, like, that's not something that, like, the antitrust laws that we have in the books are designed to do. Like, so,
like, the thing that, like, frustrates me here is that, like, inevitably, and it's one of the things that happened in the Apple versus Epic case, is that, like, Apple's lawyers argued that iPhones are computers.
Well, that's true, but, the
thing is, it's like, they're right, they are computers.
Yeah.
But, like, when you, like, say, think about, like, getting a box and opening up a box and, like...
You can't compare it to the PC market.
Exactly.
Like, that's not fair. That's not reasonable.
But, Rocky, that's a thing they did in court.
I remember. No, I was there.
Yeah.
Like...
Asterisk, we did not actually send Rocky to court. He did not sit in the
One day I'm gonna be in this fucking, like, Supreme Court and I'm gonna be loud as fuck. I don't care. They're gonna have to throw me out. Whatever.
He's just a banana man.
If I hear he's just a banana man one more time, I swear to God, Rocky, I just want you to, like, pull me up from, like, the side of the fucking desk and, like, internet spew on somebody. Be like, it's not a banana man. It's very obviously the peanut butter jelly type banana doing the actual dance.
Well, I mean,
a reference to a YouTube video.
We definitely talked about those. Like, oh no, what's his name? It's I can't remember his first name right now, but Ribeiro, you know, Carlton. Like, yeah. And, like, the fucking, like, flossing kid who's, like, 6 feet tall or whatever. And, they definitely just rip their shit. And, like, Congress decided they don't care. And it's like, I get that, like, the laws don't, like, literally protect this. And, like, you know, maybe we should pass better laws. Maybe you should look at this and decide, hey, this is bullshit. Maybe we should do something about it. Instead of, like, oh, the laws say our hands are tied. Like, that's stupid as fuck. But whatever, it's fine.
Well, the law says our hands are tied, but also we are, like, some of the most powerful courts in the land. Like, we can just fucking change the law.
Yeah. But, like, I mean, the thing that frustrates me about the whole, like, fucking iPhones or computers thing is that, like, they knew if they, I guess, expanded that argument to like the widest possible berth that would make sense under the pretext that they were doing it.
Sure.
Then it's like, well, why don't you also just say a fucking Tesla's a computer then? Why don't you do it?
You do know that one of these days Elon Musk is going to walk into a courtroom and like have his lawyers argue on his behalf that a Tesla's a computer.
No different than a laptop. Like,
yeah, and so like it deserves to be counted as part of the personal computer market, and therefore is subject to a different set of rules that don't apply to the automotive industry. Like, you know, they're going to fucking do that shit one of these days.
No, even better. He's going to argue it's a video game console.
Oh God.
There's no airbag on your Game Boy, Tegan.
Right, exactly. That's the thing. Like, safety measures for video games are determined by the ESA, so really it's up to them how my fucking car works.
Tegan, we gotta take over the ESA. We gotta do it like tomorrow.
You gotta do it now.
Clear your calendar or whatever. God damn it.
Right. So, like, and I guess that's the thing that like frustrates me about like the idea of like treating it like it's anti-competitive, because like what these things are, and like let's be real, is that they are cellular telephones, and we are still reeling from like the bad antitrust judgment of Microsoft in the 90s.
Yep.
Where Microsoft got hauled before the Fed, and the Fed was like, are we going to have to break up Microsoft? And Microsoft was like, hey, we spent some years propping up Apple so they wouldn't fail, like giving Apple cash injections. So that way they wouldn't be the only major OS distributor on the market.
In the US. Yeah.
And like, it fucking worked. Like,
it did work.
Yeah, the Fed was like, hey, wow, you know, like you can install software on a computer that Microsoft doesn't make. And so because you've got like Quicken Pages on your computer, like that means it's not a Microsoft monopoly.
Okay, this is fucking insane. Brad, how long does it take to become a judge? 10 years? I could bet 10 years on this. I think I can. Ugh.
Yeah, and
you could probably speed run it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think you could speedrun it.
Oh my God. As long as I'm not Kavanaugh, I think I'm fine. I think that'll work out for me.
Yeah, just don't cry about how, like, you got drunk.
It's like, I like beer. Like,
yeah.
Hey, that guy went from scrubbing Kenneth Starr's balls to being a judge in less than 10 years.
I mean, that's true. You're right about that.
Yeah. But, like, it's absolutely fucking bonkers because, like, the telephone market, the little computers we carry around in our pockets market, is absolutely controlled by two operating system distributors. Just point of fact.
Yep.
Like, if somebody gets something out of their fucking pocket which is not driven by iOS or does not have Android installed, if they get something out of their pocket which is another thing, you're probably going to comment it on. You're going to be like, hey, whoa, hey, Fred, what the fuck is that? Like, you know, like, it's that remarkable. Like, imagine if, like, every car on the road was one of two cars. Like, and for Apple to be like, oh, well, you know, it doesn't matter that, like, we control, like, 50% of the mobile telephone market because mobile telephones are computers. And so, like, you don't actually have to buy a mobile telephone because you can just get a fucking laptop. Like, fuck off.
That argument.
Yeah, except you have to have a telephone. Like, in this age, like, you have to have a mobile telephone. Nobody's got a landline anymore. You know, the expectations of landlines are over.
Right.
You have a cell phone, that is it. Like, here's what we need. Everybody who's over, like, 60, we need to get them off the court so that some people who understand the fucking tech can start making rules about it.
I'm interested in that. I'll keep an eye on that if we can do that. Fuck.
And this court case got, like, hung up, at least for a while, in two, like, I think relatively pedantic discussions. Which was, one, what is a computer?
That's right. Was it, like, what is a video game?
And what is a video game?
God.
Yeah. Do you imagine that shit? Imagine people, grown adults, in a courtroom, in the highest court in a single country, in America, the highest court in a developed nation, arguing about what is a video game for 3 to 4 months. Imagine that shit.
Here's the worst part about that. My mom knows what a video game is. Like, my mom does not play video games. She does not like video games. But she knows what a video game is. Like, I would be like, Mom, I want to play this. And she'd be like, you can't play that video game. Like, she knows.
That was the thing. I think it was Epic. Epic was the one that said, hey, we don't make video games. We make experiences. And then, like, overnight.
And we were just like, bullshit. Bullshit. You make fucking video games. Shut the hell your mouth.
And then fucking Roblox, like, overnight changed everything on their interface from, like, video game related to experience related. Like, it was like they flipped the switch. They were ready.
They were ready.
Oh, my God.
They did a find replace for the word video game.
And honestly, like, this is one of those things where I feel like maybe when we saw this happening with Fortnite and then we saw it happen with Roblox, we should have understood at that moment that, like, this is the way. Mm-hmm. Because, like, now fucking Facebook sent out, like, Mark Zuckerbucks, and he's, like, weird zombie face and his turtleneck to be like, experiences, the metaverse. It's time for the metaverse experiences.
Yep.
Off.
Yeah.
That's 100% what happened.
And it's like, oh, this is the thing.
The only experience the metaverse is going to give me is having to have a face-to-face argument with a digital avatar of my uncle about whether or not vaccines cause autism, you know?
Well,
like,
yeah.
I don't need that in my life.
They've learned the language. Rather, the Epic v. Apple case, like, has taught corporations the language. If you say this, we will leave you alone. And it's because they're deathly afraid of anyone showing up and taking a look at their shit, looking at their books, looking at their, like, interactions with, like, customers, because they have grown to a place. They now have enough money where they deserve a bit of scrutiny. And now their goal is to avoid scrutiny at all costs. They don't want anyone to look at anything that they're doing because they know that if someone actually looked at it, they're gonna say something about it, and they don't want to shift what they're doing. But you know what? Fuck them. Like, look at the shit. Show me the books. Show me the pages. 10 years? I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. Brian, what's the last thing in Q2?
Stadia insists Stadia is alive.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
They really fucking were like, no, it's cool. Stadia is a great, thriving platform. And then a bunch of people left Stadia to work on completely different projects for completely different companies. And they were like, no, wait, we're still alive, promise.
Yeah, Google completely shut down all internal game development for Stadia.
Oh, man, were they going to be the next big publisher? Wasn't that their thing?
Yeah, they're like...
Yeah, it really fucking was, huh?
Right. Like, to the point where, like, Google was out here, like, buying game studios and...
God, what happened to that Tequila Works game that they were working on? Did that happen? Did that ever come out?
No, it did not.
Get fucked.
Yeah.
Did anything ever come out? No. The answer was no.
Yeah, it's just, like, Stadia proved to be, like, one of the biggest wet farts in gaming of, like, the last several years. Just
they
like...
promised that crazy-ass functionality. What was it? That, like, you could just email someone a link to something that is a game that you personally own. Like, personally, if I'm on a level in, like, I don't know, what is it? Ghost Recon Battlefield or whatever. And I'm on a level and I want Brian to see it. I can generate a link and send it to Brian, and he can open the link on his browser and now be in my game.
Yep.
That was a thing that they promised. They said it with their whole chests. They said it for months. All the time.
We were genuinely excited. That sounded cool as hell.
Right.
Like, you need help with something, you die like 6 times in the same 30 seconds for one thing. Okay. Hey, you need help with this. We've already done the YouTube search for you, and we pulled up a video at the part that you are struggling with. Do you want to watch it?
Right.
That was cool as hell.
Oh,
but,
God.
like, nope, none of it.
They can't run a single Sam Show game. Like, apparently.
Right.
The slowest fighting game I've probably seen in my life, and they can't run it without, like, dropping frames. That's insane!
This is the definition of overpromise and underdeliver.
Oh, God.
Like,
fuck Stadia,
But
I
because
swear.
it's Google, they can get away with it because they have infinite money. They just have money.
Turns out infinite money cannot solve your problems. I'm sorry to tell you guys.
Maybe if Stadia was an experience.
The experience is it fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's the one. And this is another one of those ones where, like, I'm going to say, like, I feel bad that we didn't see this coming. Because, like, there is such a graveyard of, like, abandoned Google projects. Like,
remember Google? What was the Google car or whatever?
Oh, man.
like
Google Glass.
Google Plus. Like, remember when they were going to try and take Facebook's lunch? And they're like, hey, everybody.
That was the time.
Like, hang out on Google Plus. You know? Like, no one hang out on Google Plus.
They didn't talk to the college kids. They fucked up.
They did.
Google Wave never, like, happened. And so, like, yeah, like, Google has this, like, history of, like, starting something and then going, like, this is too hard, and just stopping.
Yeah. Oh, man. Honestly, I had a feeling they might. I wasn't sure. I wanted to believe. You know me, I want to believe, but like...
Right.
Brian pre-ordered Stadia.
That did happen.
He pre-ordered the fancy pack.
Yeah, the
and
Founders
canceled
Edition.
It.
Yep.
They were going to give him his first pick at a username at the very, very beginning. That was going to be you forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There was going to be no chance that someone else had taken your username.
Also, Brian, I have to thank you for this because now, just in my life, I use the word salacious. Like, it's in my Rolodex and shit. It's just around since I've known you over this past 5 years. So that's cool. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, Roblox wouldn't let me call myself my standard handle on the internet.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, where they're like, yeah, you can't be Salacious Drift because it has
They
the
knew
word
what salacious
salacious.
They knew.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's not a dirty word or nothing. I'm not in here trying to call myself like fucking Big Duck Hard Penis or something. Like
Big Duck Hard Penis. Oh no.
You know, like I'm not even trying to fucking do that.
They have like
this is
spiral
not-
penises. They're like it's like the drill that'll pierce the heavens or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus
like
Christ.
duck wieners are terrifying. Like, but I wasn't like I was trying to call myself terrifying duck wiener. Like,
Okay, Brian, before we get into QT, I know that you want to talk about what happened during the summer regarding Tommy Tallarico and the ballad
beginning,
of the Television Amico.
the beginning of the Tallarico fiasco, which was the Tallarico. You know, actually, this kind of feels like a good place to like just in general because like Q2 is where it happened. Like, so E3 this year. It was never so abundantly apparent that the way E3 works is that the ESA sells time slots. Like, I felt in my bone, like, you could feel this year that the way that the E3 works is that the ESA sells time slots. And I think that the two biggest examples of that are the Blanco's Block Party presentation and the Intellivision presentation. Now, I know that there was also, like, I think, like, a Verizon presentation or something that, like, Rocky watched, where they were just, like, we're like, hey, mobile phones, gamers, or something like that, but, like, the Blanco's Block Party and Intellivision presentations were bad for different reasons. But the Intellivision one was this weird, tone-deaf kind of garbage thing. And then, like, people started, like, dig into the footage of the E3 presentation, that they were showing footage that was, like, 2 years old. They had originally premiered in, like, 2019. Mm-hmm. There were things that, like, Tallarico was saying in the video where, like, there was no way for him to substantiate the claim. And then probably the best part of the video was that, like, for some time Intellivision had been trying to, like, distance itself from, like, Doug TenNapel.
Forgot about TenNapel. Oh, no.
Yeah. Who's the creator of Earthworm Jim, because Doug TenNapel is, like, a noted transphobe, loudmouth racist, member of the alt-right, and a person who doesn't believe that vaccines are real. And TenNapel, like, they'd been like, oh, TenNapel, he doesn't work here at Intellivision. He's not actually, like, consulted on Earthworm Jim before, but he's not part of the day-to-day. And in the video, they showed video of, like, the Earthworm Jim 4 team. And he's in the fucking video. It's like, there's TenNapel, like, holding court, and then they're like, and you can proving that they, like, have no idea how the world works anymore. They're like, you can email us to enter a contest to win a signed Earthworm Jim poster signed by the entire team. And as they pan over all of the signatures on the poster, like, bigger than all of them is fucking just TenNapel. It's like, man, you guys do not know what is up.
They really did that.
They really did that. But that was really just, like, the beginning of, like,
The year.
Intellivision goofiness. Like, they kept on just, like, cropping back up as the year wore on. The other, like, the Blanco's Block Party people, like, they only, like, I guess, crossed my desk once more that year when I was like, I remember watching the Blanco's Block Party presentation, which was like, hey, everybody, what if Roblox was an NFT?
Yep.
And it's like, that's a terrible idea. But then, fucking Mythical Games announced that they were going public and got a $1.25 billion valuation.
Yep.
And it's just like, there's so much fucking ridiculous bullshit going on with, like, and we'll get there. Like, the game industry is currently in love with NFTs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Get there.
So like, you know, like Mythical has just announced like the Nipsey Hussle package in Blancos, and
Wait, Nipsey Hussle? Are you kidding me? Is that real?
yeah, it's real.
Bro, was that signed up by his family? Did his
Yeah.
wife sign up on that?
Yep.
I'm super upset. That's actually fucking bullshit. Like, I mean, Nipsey Hussle he did some hustle moves or whatever, but he's fucking dead, and I think he would have hated NFTs. Like,
Right.
I believe that in my heart of hearts. Like, if I had talked to him and like, hey man, I know you understand this is a money-making opportunity, this is a new investment, but holy shit, this is actually fucking terrible. Oh, that's really upsetting.
And so now, like, Blanco's Block Parties has Nipsey Hussle Blancos in it.
That's fucking... Okay. All right.
You know.
Fuck.
And it's just like... And I remember, like, when E3 happened, I think that, like, all three of our opinions were, like, whatever, these guys are idiots, this will disappear. And I realize that whatever we think, like, whatever, these guys are idiots, this will disappear, is us just being abundantly optimistic and thinking the best of the world.
I mean, that's true. We do try to just like, hey, someone will take care of this, so we probably should take care of it. Actually, fuck.
I can't believe it. I really can't believe it that, like, this company that, like, paid for a half-hour slot at E3, and, like, that what most people did was just, like, laugh at their presentation, like, who's going to pay for NFT fucking Roblox? And yet here we are.
I mean, honestly, I just hope their investors lose their money. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the length of my investment. I don't think anyone actually who plays video games thinks that this shit is cool. Like, Artifact literally failed. Like, I mean, there's a lot of reasons Artifact failed. Like, it was an overly complicated card game and all sorts of bullshit. But the big thing was that no one wanted to interact with the marketplace. It didn't make any money. And so, like, they ended up shutting it down. And, like, I hope that happens to, like basically every, like, NFT game project where, like, they sell out early or whatever, and then, like, the entire marketplace stagnates and nothing else happens. But, you know, we gotta wait for that to happen. That takes time, I guess.
Oh, God. Apparently Nipsey was on the record as being pro-cryptocurrency and pro-NFT as early as 2013.
That makes some sense.
Yeah. Nipsey owned part of an Amsterdam cryptocurrency company called Follow Coin.
Right.
And he had, like, large NFT and Bitcoin holdings. So, like, the idea that his estate would get involved with Blanco's Block Party, I guess, now makes more sense.
Yeah, it does seem consistent.
But whatever. Fuck Blanco's fucking television. We'll dump them both in the sea, and we'll talk about more about television later. Jesus Christ.
Yep. Teeks, what happened in Q3?
Q3 is where stuff really turns to shit. Surprise.
Tell me about a scam.
I want to tell you about a couple scams. The first one is that an early copy of The Legend of Zelda, like the first Legend of Zelda game, was sold for $870,000.
Hey, Tegan, I have a question.
Yeah,
I have a question. So, like, was there something particularly rare about it? Was it like the box was printed sideways? Was it like was there something? Was it like a prototype copy or original test copy with like different music? Was there something about it which made it unique? Because there certainly are a lot of sealed boxed copies of The Legend of Zelda out there. So was there something unique about it, Tegan, or was it just a sealed boxed copy of The Legend of Zelda?
It was a sealed boxed copy from the NES R production run, which Nintendo only made for a handful of months in like 1987.
All right, sure.
That's what it was. That was what made it so cool and so special. And then, like, we ended up going on a whole, like, Brian did a whole deep dive on how this is probably actually, like, a huge scam overall for rich people to, like, inflate the value of shit they own. So, yay.
Makes me so mad. I said it makes me so mad.
I know it does.
There was actually a really cool Legend of Zelda thing that was found about a month ago. Like a rare, irreplaceable,
a genuinely cool thing.
Yes. Like the way Nintendo internal development works is that they would use these like flash cartridges for N64 development that they could like flash and put data onto for testing. Mm-hmm. Which was the same thing that they would use for the Space World trade show, which was like Nintendo's internal like version of E3 back when they ran their own show.
Okay.
And like very, very famously, the original demo for The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time that was shown at Space World included stuff in it that was like that never made it to the finished version of Ocarina of Time.
That's kind of wild.
And like for years, people have like been hunting for the Space World Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time demo.
For sure.
And someone bought on Yahoo Auctions Japan a internal Nintendo flash cartridge, a 32 meg flash cartridge.
Okay.
And what they found on it was F01 GX. But that's only a 16 megabyte game.
Sure.
And so there was other data on the cartridge, and when they recovered it, what they discovered underneath of the F-Zero game was the Legend of Zelda Space World demo.
Hell yeah. All right.
Right. Which means that, like, the town, which doesn't exist anywhere else, and, like, some of the landscapes, which don't exist anywhere else,
True.
and, like, button mapping, which doesn't exist anywhere else, has all been recovered. And so, like, when I see, like, dog shit like this fucking auction house, which is, like, creating fake scarcity for things which there's actually decent populations of, in order to make rich people richer, it makes me angry, because, like, game preservation is a much more interesting and much more important thing. You know, like...
This is WATA, right? WATA/Heritage?
Yeah, this is WATA Heritage bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll come back to that.
Fuck them.
We will.
Fuck them. Take it, continue. Fuck them.
Then some Apex Legends hackers were bringing awareness to hacking issues in Titanfall. So it was fun.
Is that what they were doing?
Well, they did that, but they did that by
that's
hacking
the nice
out
way to do it.
Apex Legends.
Yeah, we're saying it in the nice way. Like, oh look, they discovered a problem. But the other thing that they discovered was that, like, oh, we can also hack Apex Legends the same way that we hack in Titanfall. Huzzah! Which was great. And then Valve announced that the Steam Deck was a thing, which is their video game system that is not your computer, which is neat.
I think, like, they didn't say it. They didn't say the words, but I'm pretty sure that's, like, their answer to the Switch, because they realize a lot of people just, like, bought a Switch and, like, a PC and figure that they're fine. And so, like, Switch is like, hey, we can, or Steam's like, hey, we can get in on that.
Yeah, we can do that. We can build that.
Like,
and it seems like they have.
Yeah. I mean, y'all know that I've been, like, passionate about, like, handheld computing for quite some time.
Yes.
And just waiting for more players to get seriously into the space, because, like, Nintendo was really dominating it because, like, nobody else was choosing to participate in a meaningful way. And this sure does seem like some fucking stuff.
It sure does.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, I'm still convinced Microsoft is going to get in.
I am interested in that. If Microsoft makes a handheld device, a la the Switch or whatever, we will probably pick it up, and I might actually play it.
Honestly, I think Switch will get Game Pass before that happens. I don't think Xbox is interested in hardware more than they have to be.
That's fair.
I think that is that's a very interesting way to put it, Rocky, which is, you know, more than they have to be. And I am sure that there is somebody somewhere right now with a fucking graph at Microsoft headquarters that says, sir, we have to be interested in handheld.
I mean, maybe so. Like,
yeah.
I think, like, them being interested in handheld is different from, like, them, like, you know, actually putting out units and designing a device.
Right.
Because, like, hardware, like, overall, like, as a rule is kind of a losing game. Like, Nintendo stays there because, like, they basically have market dominance, and that's fine.
Right.
But, like, I feel like new entries to that area is not necessarily what they want to do, like, unless they win like Nintendo, which is why, like, Sony has retreated over the past couple of years. It wasn't that they made a system that wasn't ultimately successful or even profitable. It's that they didn't win, and they realized it wasn't worth the effort.
There's a commentator that I follow online, who has a lot of really good things to say about the handheld space. His name is The Fox.
Okay.
And one of the things that The Fox was, like, calling out and saying that the reason that he believes that, like, Microsoft might enter this space is that there is a remarkable similarity between the hardware configuration and chipset used in the Steam Deck with the chipset for the Xbox Series S.
That's right.
It's one of those things where like Microsoft is already mostly there with like the hardware development.
Mm-hmm.
That like, you know, a disc, like basically taking the Xbox Series S, which is already a tiny box,
Sure.
and figuring out a way that people just like, okay, now you can just hold your Xbox Series S, like, feels like that's the thing. And like there's already like things that we know is that like there was some requests made by Microsoft of AMD for new chip development, and the discussion has been like, okay, are these requests by Microsoft for like new dedicated chip development with AMD, are they for handheld or are they for VR? Because like they're at the beginning of like just a traditional, you know, like console life cycle. And we know that this request isn't related to like, say, the next iteration of their traditional hardware. Sure. It's something else. And so it's like, okay, well, what is it? And the two most obvious answers are handheld and VR. And considering that, like,
likely than VR.
Yeah. Considering that, like, Microsoft itself is kind of like retreated from their VR position based on the way that they're treating the Windows mixed reality headsets. Like, those things are definitely the red-headed stepchildren of VR.
Oh shit! What the fuck are their names? There's a company that like Microsoft got in bed with like a year ago that like had like some really interesting AR stuff, and like I already forgot who they are, but like they had like a visor and like a wristband that you could interact with, and they had a demo that looked like you were playing with creatures like with Pokemon. I don't remember what they're fucking called, but I know Microsoft was like in business with them, and like they like had like a headset that was like priced at like $3,000 like last year, but I don't know. I can't remember their names. It's fine. I'll find it later.
Okay, we're not talking about Magic Leap, right?
Yes, Magic Leap.
Okay, all right. I thought we were thinking about maybe Magic Leap. Yeah, it's just like VR is in a weird space because like it's now so like strong. Here's a thing you never thought you'd say: like VR is so dominated by Facebook right now.
Yeah, because they have the crazy low price point, and like, you know, they're making those relationships with the people who are devs. So that makes sense.
You know, like Facebook has got like huge amounts of internal development. Like they've actually ginned up like huge amounts of internal dev. You know, like they have lots of teams like building stuff for, you know, the Meta Quest. Jesus.
I mean, whenever Sushi Ben like VR comes out, then I'll take a look at it. But you know, until then, I'm just hanging out.
Right. So like, it feels like for just like taking conventional traditional gaming experiences and putting them in a handheld form factor, that's a fight which Microsoft can more easily, I think, like, get into.
Sure.
But, like, man, the Steam Deck, like, it definitely, like, I've been sitting here, I have been, like, over the last 4 years, the number of, like, little tiny handheld computers I've bought, and each time you're like, okay, guys, here's the update on the newest little tiny handheld computer. And just watching them get stronger and stronger as like chip iteration has gotten better and better, to the point where they now just play the newest games. Like when the GPD-1 came out, you know, 5 years ago, like the games that you had to play on it were like old games, underpowered games. Like you specifically had to play, like, you couldn't just like get the new thing.
Sure.
But like I spend most of my time playing fucking Forza Horizon 5 on my GPD Win Max.
For sure.
Right. It's different. Steam Deck is a big fucking deal.
Yeah. Well, I'm still concerned. Like, I'm not concerned about the device. I mean, I have like concerns about the storage space, but like I'm more concerned about Steam support over the long term. But like, you know, we'll see. I'll be here.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Tegan, sorry to interrupt. What's going on?
It's okay. It's okay. You're just helping me postpone the inevitable, where the news takes a sharp turn for the worse.
Oh right, yeah.
Then we got shit at Ubisoft. Who we already had, like, you know, an inkling that they were kind of trash. But the first thing they did was they admitted that they had a sex pest problem at work, and they just couldn't control it. Shrug. And this was shortly followed by the French Game Workers Union suing Ubisoft for institutional sexual harassment.
Oh, good.
I do remember that. I think like they had to file because there's like a universal report that like French companies have to file, and like Ubisoft says in it that like we have a sexual harassment problem that we're not confident that we can control, and then they get sued. Yep. For institutional sexual harassment. Yep. Have you heard of that? That's where like sexual harassment is not like a couple of people or like, maybe like a group of people like management or whatever. It's built into the shit. It's cooked into the shape of the company.
It's just fucking there, and if you work there, it's like, oh well, I guess you gotta deal with the sexism. And this is also, I believe this is also the one where we get the quote from the court documents that say, "Can I lie on the stand?"
No.
I think that's David.
No. That is.
It's still French.
It's still French. Yeah. That was Quantic Dream.
Oh, that was Quantic Dream.
That was Monsieur David Cage.
That's right. God fucking damn. The whole thing is bullshit. No, Roman, it's all bullshit. It is such bullshit. Hang on, he wants to come and do the shitty news with me.
Okay.
Come here, Roman. My baby boy. He's crying in the background. Okay, I have him in my lap now.
All right.
Let's see. So then, after we heard that, like, Stadia was still alive and stuff, they said, hey, we're changing our payment structure for game developers, based on the engagement with their games.
I'm so tired.
Which, to be fair, was the thing that Brian was worried about with Game Pass, if I remember correctly. Yep. Like, he was worried
instead it was Stadia that did it. So,
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh, man. For people who don't know, so, like, engagement, like, people interacting with the space. Basically, Stadia outlined a new payment plan that instead of, like, paying you based on, like, how much you make, like, if someone buys your game or whatnot, which is a thing that you still have to do on Stadia. So you have to buy games on Stadia, but they're going to pay people based on how often people interact with the games. And the reason that's a problem...
And how long they did, too.
And how long, right. And the reason that's a problem is that what that does is that it encourages developers to create games that take up large amounts of your time and force you to interact with them repeatedly. Like, so, like, you ever play a game where you log in and it's like, hey, this thing took like an hour, and like, if I really thought about it, it only should have took 10 minutes. Or, this game wants me to come back every week and I gotta do that, otherwise I can't get this thing at the end of the month. That's the type of game that they're encouraging Stadia to make by paying them this way. And, it's bullshit. Please don't support games like that. Yeah. I don't know.
I won't be able to get the Saber Claw unless I do all the dailies.
Yeah, exactly. That shit. So.
That shit, exactly. Yeah. So that was fun. And then we got a new player in the video game space.
A word?
Netflix.
Oh fuck yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they started getting serious about video games, and they started to try to bring back licensed video game spin-off content, which we all talked about. How those games are just bad.
Yeah, because, oh god. But, like, I mean, I think I do want to, before someone starts yelling at us, I do think that Netflix is capable of making good video games. And I do also believe that they are interested in making video games that take up your time, but that's what they want. What they want is to have your attention. They realize that people play video games, and they spend their time and they devote their attention to them, and Netflix has decided people playing video games that they did not make are only taking away attention that we're trying to monopolize on Netflix. So they're getting into video games so that you can continue to spend time with their content and continue to make them money.
Yep. But hopefully they're good games.
I mean, at least that would be nice, I guess.
I remember when the first reporting about this came out, there was a thing that got said about it that like specifically just made my balls twitch.
Okay.
And
I don't like it when you phrase it like that, but go on.
It was that like Netflix was like specifically like when they saw the number of people who watched The Witcher, right? and then went and played The Witcher 3.
Yep.
They were upset at how many people were getting off of the platform
To play Witcher 3.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my god, the future is so bad. We should all be so terrified. Like, oh god. Oh god. Like, how bad is that?
I mean, that's really gross. And so, like, the idea is that we need to be wary. Because that's the thing, like, Netflix isn't looking out for us, you know? You know what I mean? Like, when they put something that they like on, something that you like on their platform, it's not because they were thinking about you. They're not thinking Brian Teagan would really like this movie if it was on our platform. They realized if we put this on the platform, maybe Brian and Teagan will watch it 5 times, and that's 10 more hours they spend watching shit on our platform. That's what they want. And that's all they want. And so, like, when they make shit that you like, then that's cool and you're free to enjoy it. In fact, I encourage you to chase the things that you like. But be wary of the fact that when they try to do things to entice you into things that you normally like, but put some bullshit on top of it, don't stand for the bullshit. You deserve better. Like, and there are definitely people who are willing to treat you better, especially in the video game space. And we're dedicated to make sure that you get the experiences that you want with the least amount of bullshit possible.
Yeah.
Hashtag fuck Netflix.
God damn it.
And then, shortly after this, we started getting all of our big stories from Activision.
Oh, right.
Our big stories from Activision that have taken up several hours on the show.
Yeah.
All the time. Because every single one is worse than the other one. So, the state of California sued Activision, you know, and the people who are suing Activision from the state of California are from the feds.
Yeah.
It's just, they were like, oh, the feds are softballing this. We're going to go hardball it.
Wait, this is the DeFed case, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then Activision Blizzard was accused of committing labor violations to keep employees from talking about labor violations, which was great, 10 out of 10. Then they confirmed, yeah, we are being investigated by the SEC, but don't worry about it. And then the U.S. Army cut ties with the Call of Duty League. It's bad when the machine that's funding the propaganda cuts ties with the propaganda, isn't it? Ooh! Like, that's pretty bad!
Cigarettes were like, you know what, you're too toxic for us.
Yeah, exactly. You know what, actually? Hang on. Actually?
Oh my god.
Jesus
I'm telling
Christ.
you, yeah, like, honestly, Activision is a toxic spot. And if you play things on Activision, I get it. Because, you know, they definitely make games that are designed to monopolize your attention. I totally understand. They're trying to monopolize your drive space, by the way. Like, what is it? Like, fucking 200 gigs or some bullshit to load, like, Warzone on your fucking PS4 or whatever? Like,
yep, real bad.
so, like, I mean, I get it. Because, like, it's a game that your friends play and that, like, you'll always find a match or whatever. And, like, that's cool, but, like, this is where your money is going. I promise. It's going to these people that are actual monsters that everyone is trying to get some space from. And if you want to get some space from them, I think we can offer you some alternatives. I think we can help you out. I promise.
Yeah, I'm pretty. If you stick around, but we'll have something. We'll have something for you to check out eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, yay, great. And then Valve published their own opinions about the Steam antitrust case, which was an excellent read as always, because it's full of bullshit. And then also Roblox. Roblox got exposed as being a sweatshop for children, essentially, because all of the games are made by people who play the app or play the thing and who plays Roblox children. So
hold on, Brian.
And Brian, also Brian, but you know,
Brian, correct me on this, but I'm gonna take some shots here if that's cool. So Roblox was revealed that what they actually do for a lot of people that develop on their platform is that they pay them in the internal, like, cash
The
currency.
in-game currency.
Yup.
The in-game currency. And there is a system that maybe some people aren't aware of because they didn't have to live through it and they haven't paid attention to the history, but there were company towns, especially in mining towns, that like instead of being paid, in cash and like actual like American legal tender, they were paid in something called company scrip. And they had company stores in town where you could buy the goods and services that you needed to survive. But like if you ever left the mining town, your company script is worthless because, like 7-Eleven doesn't take your company script. They take American dollars. That's how that goes. In fact, there's a very good video game that's about this. I think it's called The Outer Worlds.
It is.
Yeah. And so like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, or if you do know what I'm talking about based on that, like that's what I'm saying. There's real life Outer Worlds in Roblox. But the difference is instead of having real adults fly on a spaceship for 10 years to go to a alien planet to work on a company town, instead it's just children making Roblox games, getting paid in Roblox currency instead of dollars. That's...
Yep.
Oh, and, fuck, what was it? There's like an amount of money that you can use to take, you need a certain amount of money to take out of the platform, and you need like something like $1,000. Is that right,
Yep.
Brian?
Yeah.
You need to work up $1,000 of company script before you can convert it into American dollars to take out
But
of the
don't worry,
Roblox
until then, you can buy more Roblox coins with it. Isn't that great?
Oh my god. And that was real life. That happened. We saw that shit happen in real time.
We did. We saw that shit happen in real time, and we all went, "Hey, wait a minute!
Wait a minute!
Hey, wait a minute! I think I read about this in my history book. Wait a minute!"
So that's one of the reasons why Roblox was successfully able to bring themselves up to a $45 million. Sorry, is it 45.3, right? Yeah, 45.3. Sorry, $1 billion valuation. Because they successfully created the decentralized company town and decentralized company script. So keep an eye out for Roblox. That's all I'm saying. Oh, God. Oh, man.
Bullshit. Telling you it's bullshit.
Brian, did I miss?
No, you got it, because, like, why... I mean, there's so many layers of why it's bad. Like, first of all, like, they're, like, the so-called profit split of a game. Like, let's say you make a game and you're selling in-game items in Roblox. Most major platform holders, like your Nintendo, your Sony, your Microsoft, on their console platforms, it's a 70-30 split in favor of the developer. Mm-hmm. Now, we can get into whether or not that's bad. That's an entirely other conversation.
Yeah, that's a thing that Valve was fighting with From Games about.
Right.
Yeah.
But here comes Roblox, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, we're much more in favor of a 70-30 split, but here's the thing. The 70-30 is going to go the other way.
That's true.
Right.
That's exactly what fucking happened.
And then on top of that, like, you have to fucking earn like $1,000 in their like made up ridiculous like Roblox coins in order to cash out into real world money. It's just these like it's a treadmill for children who want who
really fucking is.
Who dream of being game developers. Like, I want to be a game developer. I'll make a Roblox, and they make a Roblox. Like, how come I can't get paid for my Roblox? And they're like, sorry, kid, you've learned the hard and fast laws of capitalism. But one day you too shall lift yourself up by your bootstraps. Why don't you make some bootstraps for Roblox?
Right.
Oh,
God damn it. It's
and I just
bullshit.
And it's like there's already incredible burnout in the video game industry. There's so many people who like work in the game industry for like
3 to 5 years and then they quit forever.
Yeah, and they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go work in some like other, like software development industry where like employees aren't treated like disposable garbage.
Yeah.
And it's like Roblox is out here speed running developer burnout. Like
with children. With children.
We're going to get them burned out on game development before their fucking voice cracks. Like,
burned out on game development before they could actually like utilize that talent to do like before they learn any of the rules of game development. Haha, bye bitches.
you can't drive yet. You're burned down on game development.
Jesus Christ. Imagine you come home. What'd you learn at school today, Timmy? Nothing, Ma. Nothing important, Mommy. I have to go get on Roblox so I can program for 15 hours tonight. Good night.
Oh my god.
See you later.
Maybe one day I'll have enough Roblox coins to buy
The new skin that I want if I work really hard, Mom. And your mom's just like, that's the spirit, Timmy. Do you want me to drop off some ants on a log? He's like, no, thank you. That's not good for my brain development. Can I have something with more protein, please?
Maybe I'll get enough to buy the little Gucci car.
Oh, my fuck. Anyway,
Gucci car.
so that was great. Good times. Then, Epic just straight up copied Among Us.
Mm-hmm.
Epic saw Among Us and went, actually, you know what? We can do that. And they did an entire Among Us game. Just like, literally, it was just Among Us, but in Fortnite. 100%. Maps, like, the whole thing of how it worked. It was just straight up Among Us.
The worst part is
it was called Imposters. It was called Imposters. It's
yeah, it was
totally
called
different.
Imposters. Yeah, right, exactly.
It was like
over
2 months after they like hosted like Among Us as like a free game on the Epic Game Store.
Mm-hmm.
So they have the data. They have engagement data now.
Yep.
Oh God.
And
one of the developers for Among Us was like, it's okay though because they flipped where electrical and med bay are, and they connected security to cafeteria. So like it's a new map. Fuck off.
Like, bro, please.
Jesus Christ. He's like, I wasn't even around for the development of the first Among Us map, and I'm still offended.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like, dog, are you kidding me? They wasn't even like copy it like a little bit, man. They changed like one thing, and it's exactly the same fucking game. Oh my god. Oh god.
Imagine if. Imagine
you have to steal from a team of 4 people to give something new to your game.
Yeah, right, Jesus.
I guess the thing that like frustrates me is like, you know, after like what was it like 2-3 weeks, like Epic, like buckled and acknowledged the air quote influence of Among Us on their imposters mode. They're like, we were influenced by Among Us.
Yeah. Okay.
But it like took like 3 weeks of the internet just like shitting on them to get that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, where was this energy years ago when they took the fucking bus asset and they're like, what if we put the bus in the sky and we just do that game, you know, with 100 people?
So, like, okay, I do want to say this very specifically, because I want to be clear that this is not a justification, but I think the major difference is that, like, the people that were standing for PUBG at the time, while PUBG was, like, ascendant, they were generally people that weren't beloved on the internet, right? Like, a lot of the people that, like, popularized and, like, fell in love with Among Us are usually, like, popular streamers, like, cute nerds or whatever. But, like, PUBG, like, a lot of the PUBG videos that I remember seeing during, like, the rise of popularity were, like, you were walking around, like, an open map, and then, like, 2 guys in, like, a Jeep jump out and, like, demand that you drop all your gear before they murdered you. And that was, like, this is the PUBG Arma 2 experience. And, like, that's very different from, like, you know, the cute, like, bulbous dudes that you play murdering with your friends. And I think that, like, Among Us at the time had a better, like, image in the public consciousness. I don't think that makes them more worthy of defense, but I think that's what happened at the time when Epic Games, like, wholesale ripped off Bluehole. That, like, the people that were, like, in love with PUBG weren't gonna stop playing PUBG, but when they got ripped off, they definitely pulled a bunch of people that could have played PUBG into Fortnite, and they didn't care for the people that already played PUBG.
Yeah, like, I guess that's a really good point, Rocky, is that when you looked at like the culture around PUBG at the time, like it was, like people like Dr. Disrespect were emblematic of it.
Right, yeah.
And like no one likes Dr. Disrespect. And I guess this is a problem where like the internet fails because like people had I guess difficulty separating the intellectual and emotional response from like PUBG advocates to the actual like theft of IP by Epic against like Bluehole. Like,
yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, because like, I mean, like everybody remembers how this happened. How that went down is that like Bluehole had this like giant game that was blowing up, and that they were using Unreal as the engine to drive the game, and then Epic was like, "Hey, you guys appear to have a huge like piece of software. You need additional support. Good thing you're our customer. You're an Epic customer. Why don't we fly over some guys to provide on-site support?"
And then they learned everything they could about PUBG in like the 2-3 months they were there, and then they made a Battle Royale map as soon as they got back.
Yep, and that's exactly what fucking happened. And so, like, the idea that, like, Epic acquires data about, like, how popular something is, and then immediately moves to just, like, fold it into its, like, large, like... I mean, that was the dawn of, like, Fortnite as, like, shitty giant meta platform.
Correct.
Don't worry, though. Remember, Epic makes experiences.
Oh, God.
They don't make video games anymore, man. Video games are old news.
Innersloth made a video game. Epic made an experience.
Well, yeah, like fuck it. Like, it's terrible. Like, the people...
Bad.
Like, the people at Bluehole, like, those are real people. They got stole from.
They did get stole from. Correct.
Yeah. And like... that fella, Brendan Green, the guy who, like, Brendan Green is a solid dude.
No, I actually really fuck with Green. I think he's cool. Like, for people who don't know, like, Brendan Green, I think he's Irish, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, he's Irish, and, he was like, dirt poor for like a very long time. Like, if he did not have like Irish government assistance, he would have died. And he spent a lot of time like messing around and perfecting his formula for what would later become PUBG by messing around with like the engine that Arma 2 was in. And he was, cognizant of like player feedback. He was curious about what the things that they found interesting. And he was iterative and patient in developing this thing that would later become PUBG that would kind of low key take over the world. And then, like, once they were starting to pick up steam, a couple people that were already bigger than them took notice and decided to take over the world instead. Like, that's literally what happened to them. But, like, it was definitely just like a homegrown idea from someone who was patient and curious and knowledgeable that made an experience that people, like, earnestly enjoyed, and then they stole it from him. That's what happened.
Yeah. Like, I do not feel like I'm being hyperbolic in calling him a brilliant game developer.
He's a brilliant game developer, yeah.
Yeah. And, like, it just absolutely makes me so profoundly sad that, like, he has now reached a point where, like, he left Bluehole. He has left Bluehole. He is no longer there. And he's like, I guess I'm going to go try something new now. And so, like, and it's just like...
That's fucking wild. He spent, like, 7 years developing, like, PUBG. Like, 7 years of his life. Like, at the edge of his life. It's so fucking nuts.
Fucking homie moved to Korea.
He did! He moved to fucking Korea when Bluehole said, yeah, we want to do this. We think we can change the world with this video game. And he was like, yeah, sure, I'll go. And now he's out? That's nuts.
Yeah, and it just... And so, like, this is why this makes me sad, because, like, sometimes people just need to get better, like... And this actually reminds me of the conversation we had, I guess late last year, earlier this year, about the difference between Zack Snyder and people who cheer for Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Because, like, by every account from anybody who's ever worked with him, Zack Snyder is, like, a good and kind and reasonable man. Like, it's like, oh yeah, if you ever work with Zack Snyder, he's like an absolute prince of a fucking human being, and he's good and kind. And it's like, and the work he puts together is thoughtful. It might not be for you, but he's actually considering his art. Mm-hmm. And then you meet the people who like Zack Snyder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, Zack Snyder, he's so based. He's based. And And like the knee jerk emotional response is not to say fuck people who like Zack Snyder.
It's fuck Schneider.
It's fuck Snyder, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so I guess this was like the video game example of that, because like I hate Dr. Disrespect. Fuck that motherfucker.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
And there's a whole bunch of guys out there just like him who figured out like the thing to do was to create these like try hard incel fucking shit factories.
Right.
And like the game du jour for those places for quite a while was PUBG. And so like when like Epic was like, "Hi, we're stealing this, lol." Like honestly, I feel like I might have even downplayed the theft at the time, because like whatever, fuck that community, fuck that culture.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, there's an awful lot of quarterbacking in this episode where I'm like, I could have been smarter. There's a lot of I could have been smarter moments on this episode.
No, that's what this episode is about. It's mostly like, I mean, it's for people. Like, if people didn't know what happened this year in video games, like this is their way to catch up. But this is also us. This gives us a chance to watch the tapes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to really look at like how, like what we covered and how we covered it.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, I think
also like some of that is like new stuff has come out since that like influences our opinions on stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
that's true. Yeah.
Thankfully, nobody was leaving thumb drives in medieval times this year. I'll just say that.
God. Yeah, well, nobody had to leave thumb drives in medieval times. We just watched Activision Blizzard set itself on fire and then go, why would they do this to us?
Why would they do this to us?
That's what happened. Activision Blizzard lit a fire, stood outside and went, why would our workers do this to us? Like, it's fucking stupid. Anyway, we're not even there yet.
Yeah, we have some good
one
news.
spark of absolutely good news, genuinely good news. A dentist started offering patients free dental cleanings if they could beat him at Smash.
That's true.
Which is like the best of all worlds. You get good at a video game. You don't have to pay for a medical thing. And you get to play video games at the dentist office. Like, that's just everything you wanted as a kid anyway.
Hashtag blessed. Let's
10
go.
out of 10.
This guy's actually pretty cool. And like I looked into him, like you know, he didn't go like pro, I think, but like he definitely was in a semi-pro scene. He was you know, present at his locals, and you know, he got his shit together and he became a dentist, and he knew that this would be like mostly a marketing ploy, but people come in and they challenge him and shit. And like he mostly like he does Fox mirrors, you know, because like that's the meme. Like Fox, no items, Final Destination, and he'll play you. And like he's not a slouch. That's the thing. Like if he showed up and wrecked him, like that'd obviously be bad for his business. But like if you got a Fox, you could fight this guy, you beat him, he'll give you the cleaning. He really will. And if not, he's like, you know, that's cool. But like if you still need a cleaning, like I'm here for you, man. And like that's just building rapport. Like you could just show up, lose to your dentist at fucking Fox mirrors or whatever, and then get your dental cleaning. Like that's fine.
Probably this is how I expect that happens. You pick your person, you do the Final Destination, you know, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You lose. Maybe not bad, but you still lose.
Mm-hmm.
He opens your mouth, starts getting in there with the water pick and the fluoride, and goes, you know, here's how you improve your tech.
He gives you Fox tech while he's cleaning you. Yeah, that's good.
He lectures you while he's doing your dental cleaning. Like, hey, try this out and let me know how it works in 6 months. See you then.
It's a YouTube tutorial mixed in with a dental cleaning. I'm kind of down. That sounds kind of dope.
That'd be
actually
great.
It does feel like good community building.
Yeah, it's fun. And you know, he also probably gives you, if he's anything like my dentist, he probably also gives you like regular advice, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh god, I can't wait to see this dentist like self-made local. Like just all of his clients, he has them show up for like a 64 man or some bullshit.
The person who wins the 64 man gets like a free like tooth whitening or like a cavity fill, you know?
Yo, cavity fills are pretty intense. I got a cavity fill and it was like $1,000. Like that was insane.
Have we okay? This is actually relevant, and I don't know if I've ever had a moment to bring this up on the show before.
Let's go, Brian.
Have we talked about what happened to the shell of the Atari Jaguar?
Vaguely. I don't think we like had a conclusion to that story.
Okay, so when Atari went out of business the first time, they had a whole bunch of assets that they needed to deal with.
Okay,
and like. One of the things that they did was to like before they went out of business the first time was to like make the Jaguar and the Atari VCS the original, the real VCS, like, open platforms, like they told, like, hey, you people can develop for the Jaguar, you can develop for the VCS, go for it. But they had a physical asset that they needed to dispose of in order to pay their debts, which was the design, the shell for the Atari Jaguar, the injection molds that were made to house the console body.
Okay.
And they found a buyer who wanted to buy the shell for their product. And that company was a manufacturer of dental x-rays.
Oh shit, word?
Yeah. So if you type into your Google Atari Jaguar dental x-ray, you will find pictures of the dental x-ray machines that were built using the Jaguar mold. So like there's all these fucking like tooth x-ray machines out there that look like Atari Jaguars.
Okay, Brandon, that's the thumbnail. I hope you know. Like, I hope you've like understand that in your heart of hearts, but that's the thumbnail for this week, so
yeah.
Oh, hey, I recognize this dental machine.
Let's go.
Hey, wait a minute.
Let's
I know what this is.
Yep, that's just a fucking Atari Jaguar.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's the thumbnail. Brian, you gotta put the comparison image. I'm gonna put a copy of it in the chat.
No,
maybe you'll see
I'm
it,
looking
maybe
at
you
it.
won't. We'll see.
I'm looking at it.
Everyone submit the image that you think will be the...
Let's go.
But it kind of felt like, because we very rarely have stories where video games and dentistry intersect.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of those.
I'm gonna say, just so everybody knows, when I said put the image in the chat that you think it's gonna be, Rocky and I sent the exact same fucking image.
Exact
That's why
image.
we started laughing.
Yeah. Okay, Brian.
Jesus Christ.
Tegan, this is not going to be a good story, but
No,
I believe
it's not.
in you.
None of the stories that I do anymore are good. You gave me the shit. You gave me the first shit quarter. Thanks.
It's okay. I'm taking the second shit quarter.
it.
It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be fine. Anyway, Unity workers started saying like, "Hey, is this kosher?" When Unity started expanding their contracts and started working with the Department of Defense to make war tech. And they're like, do we really want to do this? And the bosses at Unity said, fuck yeah, we do. That's real money, baby. Love that. And then this is like later in the quarter when we do get the whole spiel on the Wada's Games Heritage auction fraud machine that we already talked about at the beginning of this section. And we get the final ruling for Epic versus Apple, where we, yell about everything. And then China started cracking down on game developers real bad, which was a good fun time. As it is. China's always been like a little stiff with what kinds of things they allow, but now they're cracking down on larger games. They expanded their what's it called? What is the word? Curfew for younger gamers. They started severely limiting the kinds of material allowed in video games. They passed a law about how there can't be effeminate men in video games because they thought it was weakening the masculine, like the idea of masculinity. And then a bunch of people freaked out because they thought MiHoYo was going to have to change Venti, like, drastically. A whole thing. I'm going to tell you, I've said it once, I'll say it again. If they make MiHoYo change Venti, they're just going to change the VA to a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for fuck's sake. Anyway. And then it is with a heavy heart that we had to announce that Clive Sinclair passed away at the age of 81. And Brian is still working on that special that will be on the Patreon.
Yeah, I think that it's like I can't remember like what happened. Like we got busy, I got busy, and then we had shit come up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But we need to do that because
it's important.
Yeah, it is important, and it's absolutely extraordinary because there are very few people who you can point to their contribution to game history and be like, this person helped democratize gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And that
and
person,
that is one of the people.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
And we will be posting that special for our Patreon patrons as soon as it is ready. But as with everything, it deserves time and it deserves attention. And so it's just taking a little bit longer to fully develop exactly what we want to present.
Yep. Go play some ZX Spectrum games. Man. I really do feel like the China thing is another case where I felt dumb. I was fully into this idea that Tencent had reached this point where they were untouchable. And I was like, yeah,
right.
And I was like, oh, Tencent, they're untouchable. I was still, I guess, reeling from the idea that Roblox was a platform holder, and now and all this stuff, and
this came right after we Activision or Epic and Apple finished their lawsuit,
right?
So we were still in that too,
right? And then you would look at stuff say the market capitalization of Tencent and just see how big they are, and know how many pots they have fingers in, and it was just one of those things where it's I felt like they were untouchable. And then I was like, the Chinese government would disagree.
Yeah, the Chinese government would say no one is bigger than the Chinese government, 100%.
Yeah.
So.
It is worth mentioning that this was the quarter where the government specifically started talking about the tax breaks that the Chinese gaming industry have enjoyed for years.
Mm-hmm.
The Chinese, part of what makes Tencent and MiHoYo so big is that they haven't had to pay income taxes in China for years.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There has been this very specific break which has been granted to the gaming industry because at the time the gaming industry was very small and very not profitable, and so they got granted this taxation exemption, and now it's this multi-billion-dollar industry which is just not paying money to the government, and I don't think that at this point I don't think the government's done. I think that they're still coming for them. Man, goodness gracious. Rocky, I believe you have a terrible Q4 for us.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to start with Activision. I'm going to do it all at once, right? So Activision ended up settling, I believe, with the federal government. I don't think they actually settled with DeFay yet, right?
Not yet.
Yeah, and following that, Bobby Kotick issued a statement about changes at Activision Blizzard, and it looked like he was saying all the right shit. I don't think I was on that episode, but I do remember the team being very enthusiastic about Bobby Kotick seemed like these are the things that need to happen. They are actionable. They are measurable. These are the types of promises that if a CEO is supposed to make, they're going to make these.
For the record, there's still good promises. Just he cannot be the person to make them happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And then, the remaining...
Right. Here's the thing, though. That part where they were like, oh, yeah, this is the thing that we're going to do. And I was like, no, he's not going to make it through the end of the year. And Brad was like, no, at this point, it'd be more expensive for them to jettison him than it would be for them to keep him. And now it's just like, hello. I don't want to say I told you so, Brian, but I have a sneaking suspicion I told you so.
They definitely did lose a lot of money. I do remember, I think, at the time of the changes, they had lost about 27% of their value at the time. I don't know where they are right now. Do we have a current stock price in Activision Blizzard?
1 second.
Sure.
I will use the power of science.
Hell yeah.
Activision stock price. Activision is currently valued at $60.62 a share.
Oof, yeah, I remember when they were definitely 100. Holy shit.
they still got a ways to drop.
You know, we gotta keep going. So, anyways, the current Activision Blizzard lawsuits have been thrown into chaos as the federal agency, the EEOC, has accused California's DFA of ethics violations. So, you know, there's the girls are fighting right now. That's what's going on.
Good.
Meanwhile, the Activision Blizzard workers did coordinate a walkout demanding that CEO Bobby Kotick resign from the company following a report from Wall Street Journal that he was not only aware of, but also complicit in the defense of sexual abusers at the company. And it also came out that Bobby Kotick actually wrote, I think her name is Jan Townsend, maybe it's Jean Townsend, like company-wide email suggesting that everyone just needs to put their heads down and come and go back to work and not worry about the things that are happening out there. In addition, during an earnings call, Activision Blizzard confirmed that both Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 will be delayed. The justification that they gave at the time was that since they are rebuilding the company's culture, it will take more time for these games to be developed. And the cherry on top of all of this is that Jen O'Neill, who was elevated to the title of co-lead of Activision Blizzard along with, what the fuck is that guy's name?
That's fine. You know what? It doesn't even fucking matter.
Doesn't matter.
Some guy
plus Jen O'Neill were elevated to the title of co-lead of Activision Blizzard, and Jen O'Neill has reported that she will step down from her co-lead position to run an MPO outside of Activision Blizzard, and soon after it was reported that she was actually paid a quarter of her co-lead's pay for some fucking reason.
Fuck Christ.
And so you know, that's Activision in Q4. So far, I mean, there's a couple more days left in the month. We probably won't be able to report on them until January, but that's what's been going on at fucking Activision Blizzard.
God damn it, I'm so tired. I hate them.
Well, yeah.
I said it like every fucking time I've been on this. We've talked about this, and I'll say it again. I got clean from World of Warcraft. You can too.
It's true. That's a direct quote.
I was playing 12 hours of World of Warcraft a day. I was only eating popsicles so that I had enough sugar in my body to stay conscious.
Jesus Christ,
and
Tegan.
Hydrating. No, I am not making that up.
I'm not questioning that, but I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
And I got clean. You can too. There are so many other better games out there.
There are better games out there. This I can promise.
Just move your bros with you. I promise it'll be fine. Jesus Christ. Anyway,
yeah.
Look,
what else happened?
If I could not dump 2.5 to 3 hours a day to fucking Hearthstone, you know, because like I gotta tell you, like when they made the announcement, like hey everybody, here's our 6-part plan. I fired Hearthstone back up because I was like, all right, I'm comfortable playing it, just not talking about it on the show. But then came the stuff.
The stuff.
Yep, and I was like, I'm like, okay, never mind. You know, I got a fucking zoo to run. Fuck off. Fuck off. Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's some better news in between. Pokimane was revealed to be the co-owner of a management company called RTS, which looks after a lot of streamers and whatnot. But the notable thing, at least to me personally, is that RTS is also a co-owner of the EVO Championship Series, aka the biggest fighting game tournament in the world. So I know that if no one's got me, Pokimane's got me as far as EVO goes. So like, I guess it's fine. Like, she's friends with the FGC. And that's what's been going on. But like, Pokimane was a silent partner up until Q4, where they decided to publicize her affiliation with the company for a public relations buff. As far as I can tell, that doesn't seem to be a response to any particular scandal. I have looked. So it's just like Pokimane owns part of Evo. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I think it's just women in the fighting game community.
Yeah.
I think it's literally a response to like the toxic shit going on with Activision Blizzard, where like, you know, everyone's treated like shit, and they're just like, oh, but look, like we have a woman who's now partially in charge of Evo, and she's gonna help us clean it up, kind of.
That's fair.
You know?
I do accept that. I do want to say right here, because I don't think I've done it on this show. There's a fighting game player, Chris G. Chris G, if you ever listen to this, I hope every good thing in your life melts in your mouth. I hope it turns to ash and is bitter and terrible. I hope you fucking suffer for the rest of your fucking life, and I hate your guts and everything you're about. Fuck your life.
I don't know who you are. But if Rocky's that passionate about it, then I hope all of the earth that you walk upon is salted.
Let's fucking go, Teagues. No, like, honestly, fuck Chris G. He is a well-noted misogynist in the fighting game community. He is very talented. He is good at playing fighting games, but he's an asshole, and I hate everything that he's about, and I hope everything that he does fails forever.
I hope all 4 of your tires are slashed and you are charged with insurance fraud.
Oh, fuck, that's a good one. I really fuck with that. Okay, anyway, so on to, the actual bad news, the continuing bad news. Devolver Digital did go public. They are now a publicly traded company, and they were valued at nearly $1 billion for people who are keeping count.
This means they're no longer an indie company.
They're not.
In case you were wondering.
The thing is they weren't before.
They weren't before. That's
yeah,
fair.
But they're super not now. They're super not.
For anyone who's keeping count, they were valued at $935 million American dollars. But yeah, they are no longer a little guy. So when people try to peddle them as an indie, please pay attention. Like, please keep your eyes open, because they are not a little guy anymore. Which leads to my next point: the Game Awards are a joke. They are definitely 100% about who can give them the biggest check so they can keep running their award show, which, to be fair, I am not someone who is deeply involved in the world of award shows, and maybe they need that kind of money. But as far as like celebrating video games and what they're about and the people that play them, that doesn't seem to be what the Game Awards are about anymore, so fuck them. Ubisoft employees have organized a petition to both improve diversity at the company, to improve access, to tell better stories, and to protect the people that work at these companies. So, if you see that, and we'll surface it to you. In fact, I think we have before. Please support them wherever you can. It does look like that EA and FIFA may not actually be partners going forward. And it's very much because FIFA has decided to ask EA for a lot more money and to tell them to cut out the Ultimate Team shit because it's not a good look. So we'll see how that goes. They're still in negotiations, but nothing's official yet. This quarter also, Twitch has completed their promise of providing their anti-hate raid tech by allowing streamers to require a phone verification on users when they join their chats, when they decide to follow, when they interact with the streamer themselves. And that is a good tool. I don't think it's all encapsulating, but it's useful. And
they also did make it so that if you ban an account that has an associated, all other accounts that are associated with that same email or phone number are also banned.
That's correct.
And recently they made it so that if you ban someone from your chat, they are automatically removed from your follower list as well.
Mm-hmm. So Twitch actually seems to have come through on their promise. Once again, there are people who speak for Amazon. We are not those people. We speak for ourselves. Our opinions are entirely our own and are in no way affiliated with Amazon and their various subsidiaries.
Associated subsidiaries.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Nintendo took a moment to call Bloomberg a fucking liar, because Bloomberg has been publishing stories for the past 2 years regarding a HD version of the Nintendo Switch, which may or may not be in development. I don't know. I'm not there.
This is a weird thing.
Okay.
Because Nintendo generally does not comment on rumors.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
They do not.
They generally do not.
Right. Somebody
That's been a famous stance of theirs.
Right. Like there are in other companies like just varying degrees will say something like, but Nintendo like you could be like, I swear that the next Nintendo console is also going to be a onboard motor for your dinghy watercraft.
It's true.
Then Nintendo will just not comment on the idea that the next console will be an onboard motor for a dinghy watercraft. They just won't say shit. So it was really weird that like Nintendo bothered to say something.
Yeah, no, I definitely believe that. And I think it's because specifically it's been happening for years and it's been undercutting like hype for the stuff that they're actually announcing. Like the big deal here is that like around October, they released the Switch OLED, which is something that they very much wanted people to get excited about. And I do believe it is actually a superior product to like the standard Nintendo Switch, even though it's not HD like most people wanted. The fact that Bloomberg was still jumping out saying, hey, I know the OLED came out, but there's still an HD Switch on the way. Nintendo felt like was undercutting their actual Switch OLED sales, which is why they decided to meet them in the street and say, hey, fucking knock it off, Bloomberg. But this is definitely something that's been building for some time. It's not like something that like Nintendo snapped on like on a whim. It feels like they've been absorbing pressure that may have been affecting their bottom line, and this is the moment they decide to step to Bloomberg about it.
Like the thing, I remember when we were. I'm going to put a meme into the chat.
Okay, let's get it.
Yep. It was.
I love a solid meme. Let me see the meme.
This was a meme that I crafted.
Wait, which?
Handcrafted, bespoke memes, okay? It's better than Intelligent Miko, so.
How are we gonna show the handcrafted meme to our friends and fans?
We're gonna put it in the feed.
Right now?
That's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be here like days in advance, and we're like, huh, what is that? And like, this is the thing Brian was talking about.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
When you're 2.5 hours into the first Game of the Year episode, this is the thing we're talking about.
Oh.
Wow.
This is unrelated hot news.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that you just finally saw the same image that Rocky and I sent because I saw your little bubble move?
Yeah, well,
I think I'm so funny.
Yep. This is the exact shit. Mm-hmm. And that's like, so this meme, you'll know the one. It's the one with Cavill on it. Like, you'll see what it is. That's the entire thing that Bloomberg has been cultivating, that, like, Nintendo has finally decided that they're sick of, and they decided to show up on Twitter in a specific thread outlining that they aren't developing an HD Switch, that they have no plans to do so in the future, and that they hope that you please enjoy this Switch OLED version or whatever the fuck. Like that was definitely a marked moment, because once again, Nintendo does not comment on rumors. They don't do that. And they definitely don't make like public statements that aren't like marketing things for them. Mm-hmm. And so for them to go out of their way to say, hey, we know that there have been publications about this and they're fucking wrong, is wild.
I think this is going to bite them in the ass.
Not only are they wrong, we need you to fucking stop.
Yeah.
Like, we will sue your ass if you don't fucking stop.
I think this is going to bite them on the ass.
You think it's going to bite Nintendo on the ass?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And
is it because they said something about this, but they haven't said anything about everything else going on at Activision Blizzard?
No, not even that.
Okay.
The reason I think that this is specifically going to bite them on the ass is, I would like to, as Article 1, point you in the direction of Mario plus Rabbids Part 2: The Revenge.
Sure.
And the footage which has been shown from it. There has been gameplay footage shown of Mario Rabbids 2.
Right. So basically you're I'm going to skip ahead, cut me off if I'm wrong, but like you're saying that like because of other games that have already been announced that don't seem to be able to run on the current Switch hardware, that they are suggesting that it implies that there is going to be an increased, more powerful Switch down the line, and they just decided to lie about it right now on Twitter to pump up the sales of the OLED.
and like I think that is going to end up like being a very bad look, because like Nintendo likes to adopt a position. They have done this historically. Like they have a history of it, of just like treating their new consoles like they just kind of like magic into existence. You know, like,
okay,
like, hey everybody, like here's the Nintendo DS. We had no idea what this was until today, but now we do. Like they very much treat like their console iterations like they just suddenly magically happen until it's so like you'd ask them like in a press conference, like, hey, you guys working on a new console? They're like, no, until something like, we are proud to unveil the Nintendo 64. It just like that has historically always been their position, which is to
fair.
Pretend a thing doesn't exist until the moment they want to talk about it. And like when I think about people who are well placed, have accurate inside knowledge, at the absolute top of that fucking list is Jason Schreier.
Yeah, but
right?
Schreier's never commented on this specifically.
He has.
No, he hasn't. He like when Nintendo made this statement about like saying that they're not working on HD Switch, Schreier like actually commented, like he didn't quote tweet the tweet or anything, but he said on his own feed, like, I've never said anything about a Switch Pro. Like I've never mentioned it.
Let's see here.
Yeah, he said the first thing I saw from July 6th was, I've tried to be clear that pretty much everything I've heard about the Switch Pro came from Bloomberg's excellent Asia team.
Right.
Which will hopefully soon be able to clarify whether plans were changed or there's another model or what. But the only thing I've seen since is like jokes about the Nintendo, the Switch Game & Watch.
Right.
Or the Switch Game & Watch. The fucking Zelda Game & Watch being the new Switch Pro.
Like, Schreier's always said, like, Schreier definitely worked at Bloomberg, and I do, I maybe not absolutely trust him, like he tells me, whatever, I'm not going to dig into that right now, but, Schreier has definitely never espoused, like, the theories of a Switch Pro beyond what's been said by other people at Bloomberg. He's never said that, like, I've been talking to people at Nintendo, and they say that they're working on a Switch Pro. That has never happened. And
so like, one of the things, like, I think that one of the, you know, like, things that kind of like emerged in the wake of this was like people figuring out that there were like two tracks of rumors, and that like one of the tracks of rumors was entirely driven by people gaining awareness of Nintendo component ordering.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like people like, oh, Nintendo's ordering these components,
right?
And like that, and like the component ordering, all the stuff from the component ordering, you know, like thread of information got borne out to be true, because like it turned out that like the components, like the supply chain stuff, turned out to be them building the supply chain for the OLED.
Right.
Like they're like they're buying the pieces that, you know, are the OLED. The Switch Pro stuff though is driven by dev kits. So like it was fair. Like,
yeah,
right. Like Nintendo has been shipping out dev kits which have like a different spec set than like the Switch.
And Nintendo did say that like that those dev kits didn't go out. I do remember them saying that.
Right. And it's just like, this is a good moment to like talk about like how Nintendo has like historically been ridiculous about like controlling what they perceive as like internal information. Nintendo used to, like, no shit, when they would want a game to get reviewed by a media outlet, send an employee of their company with a locking box that was handcuffed to their fucking wrist to the media outlet. And then they would unlock the box, take the thing out of the, like the fucking Blues Brothers, with the Blues Brothers would used to be to know what the...
They're on a mission to tell me what.
I can admit that that's ridiculous, but also that's kind of hard, Brian. I gotta say.
That's fucking cool as hell.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm not convinced that this is I'm not convinced that this is for Switch Pro. I think this might be the next console.
Maybe so, because they're like offset. They decided they're not going to like compete in the same year with like Microsoft, Sony.
Mm-hmm. I'm not convinced this is Switch Pro territory. I think this is like whatever next is.
Right. And so there's two things which are true about Nintendo. Like, one is that when a console is going well, Nintendo absolutely drags their feet as long as possible to like stay in that generation. Mm-hmm. You know, like when they have the install base, when they have the attachment rate, Nintendo is like, all right, we're camping out here. This is a good place to be. Like, which is why they were like slow on the uptick for the Super Nintendo's development. Like, the Genesis was like out there in like 89, and they're just like, whatever, you know, like there's no reason to like move on from the NES at this point because of the size of the install base of the NES. But like the thing is that like sometimes Nintendo will have their cake and eat it too. Like and like the best example I can think of that is the Game Boy Color, which was like with a wink and a nod, like oh yeah, this is a Game Boy but color, but like it had a better processor in it. It played like the total number of like Game Boy Color games that were capable of running on the original hardware, because that was a promised feature of it, ended up only being about a third of Game Boy Color games.
That's fair.
Like like Game Boy.
Yeah, and I do remember that you went through all of this like when it came out, like when we covered this story in particular.
And that like a Switch Pro would be an opportunity for Nintendo to effectively launch new hardware while claiming that they're not. Right. You know, like, and I think that.
But I don't think it'll be a Switch Pro. Like, I don't think that's what the naming convention's going to be. I don't think it's any of that.
Oh yeah, no, it's they're not going to call it Switch Pro. They're going to give it some goofy ass Nintendo name, because that's what they do now. Like,
right, exactly. They're going to give it a goofy ass Nintendo name, and they're going to say, and then they're going to be able to say, "See, we told you it's not a Switch Pro."
If they split the hair that way, Tegan, they're like, it's
not.
They
fucking will. They fucking will. I'm willing to bet $5. I will sell you $5 if I'm right. Or if I'm wrong.
Like, see this Switch, which has a more powerful chipset and is capable of running more demanding games. We're not calling it Pro. It's called the Switch Plus. And so
No, it's called the Nintendo Home. And it's just a Switch that's permanently docked with no screen on it. Like, the box is a slightly different shape, but like you can still use your Joy-Cons with it and shit. Like, that's what it's gonna be.
It's the Nintendo Co-Z.
Yeah, exactly. Some bullshit like that. Exactly. That's what it'll be. And they'll be like, it's not a Switch Pro. And we'll be like, it is I can put my Switch cartridge in this. And they'll be like, but it's not a Switch Pro.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like, so, like, it'll be some weird naming convention, which is, like, hard to understand for, like, casual consumers. Kind of like the new Nintendo 3DS or Switch OLED model. Some shit like that.
It'll be something that... No, I think it'll... Okay, here's what it'll be. It'll be something slightly... Like, the name will be different from the Switch itself. But it will have an X in it. Because that's what the Xbox Game Pass is going to launch on.
Oof.
That's it. That's my final bet.
Okay, who wants to talk about NFTs?
I don't. We already talked about NFTs.
No.
I lost the call the last time we talked about NFTs.
I'm
not doing it again.
I have a contribution from Mrs. Cartwright, who's listening to us yell from the other room.
Oh, excellent.
And she says that the name of it is going to be the Nintendo Switcheroo.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, so here's the thing. We can't avoid talking about NFTs. You guys, anyone who's listening to this show, you guys know that I fucking hate NFTs. If you listen to the beginning of this show, you know that I hate NFTs. But here's the thing. The corporations, the big people that are holding the money, they think NFTs are dope. They think NFTs are a way for them to make new money off of all new customers. And so they are fucking down. Just like in the space of 1 week, we had announcements that Ubisoft plans to develop both play to earn, blockchain, and NFT games. Blanco's Block Party was announced that they did manage their $1.25 billion valuation, which is again a little bit more than Devolver Digital's initial valuation, but not much more. EA embraced NFT and blockchain games and planned to develop them for the future. And Square Enix, who had been planning an NFT release and successfully released a mobile game that launched with NFTs, were planning an earnest entry into the NFT space. Also, this happened a bit earlier, maybe about a month or two before. Epic Games announced that they are here to support NFTs almost specifically because Steam decided that they were going to ban them from their platform. Mm-hmm. So NFTs, once again, are a going concern. And they are a thing that we are not going to be able to avoid in the gaming space unless we are specifically careful. Because the big people are doing it and they have their hands in a lot of pies. Like fucking EA themselves owns like what, 20 some studios or so? And if they decide that they're going to put NFTs in everything, like you need to pay attention or you're going to accidentally buy some shit that they want you to do a microtransaction for an NFT. That is some shit that is going to happen to someone. Maybe not us. Maybe if we're careful, it won't happen to us, but it's going to happen to someone without a doubt in my mind. And so, be aware of this shit. NFTs or non-fungible tokens are, in a large way, a way to poison the earth in the way of overutilizing electricity in scales that we haven't seen. That NFT like management through the blockchain can use electricity on the scale of countries, not people or towns or cities, but countries, to manage a fucking JPEG on the internet and to make sure that the person that owns it honestly and truly owns it. And that burns so much energy that creates all sorts of pollution that's going to make the world a much more dangerous place to live in the future. And beyond that, a lot of the people that buy into NFTs are just getting dead-ass scammed. And maybe that won't happen with these companies. Maybe Ubisoft and EA will be completely on the level with their NFT sales. But once again, maybe they won't. And maybe their marketplaces will just be dead spaces to throw a bunch of money, to use up energy that makes the world a less hospitable place to live. But that's the future that we are looking at right now. And I promise you, this isn't anything close to hyperbole. This is the real fucking world that we're looking at in the next 6 to 18 months. So, educate yourself. Be prepared. This is shit that's coming to your doorstep.
And listen up, folks. I know that your powers of retention are as thick as a warthog's backside. But thick as you are, pay attention.
Thick as you are, pay attention.
Mm-hmm. My words are a matter of pride. I get nothing here? Okay, that's fine.
No, it's all, I'm tweeting thick as you are, pay attention. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Doing it with two C's,
Yeah, I'm... So, some of the people on this who listen to this show might be familiar with recurring unwanted guest Duck at Sequoia.
True enough. Yeah.
And I think that the main reason Ducket exists is that we needed something to be emblematic of the ridiculous way that the game industry has embraced this. Mm-hmm. All right, and I'm going to drop kayfabe here for a second.
It's fine, whatever.
There are things that I have tweeted from the Duck at Sequoia Twitter account that the reason I tweeted them was that I literally saw another NFT gaming account say that exact same thing. And I was like, I just can't fucking believe that people are just saying these nonsense words. And it's some kind of fucking magical invocation. When I saw someone use the phrase omnidirectional meta puzzling, I was like, what?
That is no, those aren't real words.
It's gibberish. No, it's
gibberish. Yeah.
Someone said it, but it's fucking gibberish.
Right, and it's what they're fucking doing. It is painting the roses red. That is what NFTs are. Like we're painting the dog shit red. We're painting the dog shit red. There was an art project that happened within the last couple of weeks where somebody wrote a script to right-click every NFT which exists on OpenSea.
Oh yeah, that was on the Pirate Bay.
Right.
Hell yeah.
And so they put up every JPEG from OpenSea, and they're just like, here, and it was like a recreation of, like, they built their own interface so it like looked like the Pirate Bay's interface. They called it like the NFTC, and it was one of those things where, like, to see the way that, like, crypto bros reacted to this was, like, fascinating, because they were like, you're a thief, I'm like, what are you talking, like what kind of magic are you talking about? Because, like, you know, like, every one of you crypto bros, in theory, shouldn't even care about the right clicking of an image, because what you're so precious about is, like, the proof of ownership that exists on the blockchain. Mm-hmm. You're like, the image itself is different from the proof of ownership, and it's just like the weird kind of, like, Music Man fucking ridiculous bullshit thinking that is required. Like, it's kind of like saying that, like, say the experience of eating dinner out only happens if you retain your receipt for dinner. Like, you know, like that, like, that's where these people are. Like, and it's just like, but imagine, like, if your receipt for dinner required, like, burning down a forest. Like, that's, like, that's NFTs.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. And I remember, I guess it was, like, January or February where we were, where we mentioned it the first time. We're like, and I think we're like, hey, have you heard about these NFTs? Like, and it just, like, it feels like we've come so far, and it's all bad. It's all bad, guys.
It's all bad. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Not good. Not good at all.
So I have one, you know, less bad thing than NFTs, but it's the last thing that's on my list of things to cover for Q4.
Then we can circle back to Intellivision.
Oh, fuck, that's right. All the Intellivision stuff. Okay, so Epic Games recently ended a popular time-off policy. They said that they implemented it for the sake of the pandemic, and it was only supposed to last that long. The policy itself allowed...
The pandemic's not over, Rocky.
No, the pandemic is not over. That is
Shout-outs to the Omicron variant.
But the time off policy allowed employees at Epic Games to basically take alternating, like, Fridays off, since Fridays were, like, you know, non-specific, like, usually, like, either light meeting days or just, like, unstructured, like, programming time. Most people at Epic Games, they were just allowed to take, like, alternating Fridays off. It made life better at Epic Games as a whole. Like, people were ultimately just about as productive. They reported, you know, more workplace satisfaction, that they were having a better work-life balance with the extra time that they had. And Epic decided, you know what, we got to ramp up shit on Fortnite, so we're going to cut out this policy. Or worse yet, that some people were taking advantage of the policy that most people weren't, and so we're getting rid of it for everyone. And, you know, Epic Games was noticeably upset about it. This coming, I think, a week or so after a Ubisoft studio... Or was it Ubisoft Studio that decided they're going to shift to a 4-hour work week without a reduction in pay? So, you know, it's just ultimately a bad luck. Not a great time for Epic Games, but, you know, Epic Games is on their own bullshit. They maybe know something we don't.
I'm just scrolling back up to the Activision Blizzard stuff for a second, because that was also one of my favorite time off stories this year. Which was when Bobby Kotick knew that the Wall Street Journal article was coming, and magnanimously announced that all Activision Blizzard employees were going to get the entirety of Thanksgiving week off with pay. It's like, you've all been working so hard just to have Thanksgiving week off. All of it. And it occurs to me, like, how many stories we've had this year, which are essentially about companies weaponizing people's access to their own time.
Yep.
You know? It's like, we would like for you not to have walkouts and employee protests, so please have next week off. You know, like, fuck off.
Yeah, right.
Just fuck off. Like, how gross is that?
I mean, it's pretty gross.
Disgusting.
Yeah. And Epic is in a position where they think that employees are disposable and interchangeable enough that if they end this policy, they can just find more people who are not kids burn out on Roblox and can just plug them into those spots.
Oh man, at least look at her salary. But still.
Yeah. Yeah. So in television, right?
Mm-hmm.
Intellivision declared that they were going to release physical games media for their console, but for months refused to provide any additional detail on it. They're like, when the time is right, when the time is right. Turned out what that was a RFID card in a cardboard box, and that they claimed that the RFID card was also, at the time that they announced this, an NFT. People have since gotten the card and scanned the card to see like what's actually on the card, can find no evidence whatsoever that this is linked to any kind of blockchain enterprise. Now, we're not calling Tommy Tallarico a hero for not actually selling an NFT here. We're just saying that he has no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, yeah.
Yeah. Tommy Tallarico continued to raise money on various funding platforms, claiming that people worked for the company who had either never worked there or had already left it. Which was wild. He claimed to have partnerships with various large corporations, saying like, these are partners of Intellivision. Like including like Crayola and Amazon. And when people reached out to those companies for verifications of the partnerships and they said no, all of a sudden those names would disappear from the funding platforms. He spent most of the year weaponizing his fan base to go like yell at people.
Yep.
Frank Cifaldi, the founder of the Video Game History Foundation, has been experiencing near constant harassment from Tallarico's followers on behalf and instruction of Tallarico. And most recently, when he released like the first quote in-depth footage of a video game for the console, it was discovered to be literally a bunch of stolen assets. And Tommy's like, it's fine, it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you pitched this video as being like an in-depth view of the finished product. And so then he re-released the video with like literally the stolen assets blurred over like it was some kind of porno. It's like, what are you doing, dude? What are you actually doing? And we got a better idea as to like how much money he was given from the grant from the German government to hire Bavarian game developers. And
wait, you didn't say they were Bavarian? I thought you said they were German before.
Yeah. Bavarian is in fact like Bavaria is in Germany, Rocky.
Okay, yeah. You got me. I don't know German geography.
Yeah. So the Bavarian Game Development Fund, like it's very clear that Intellivision got a certain amount of money from the German government to hire game developers, then kept most of it themselves, and what they could afford to hire at that point were like college kids who had never made a video game before, which is what they did. So at this point, like 27 of the 40 launch games for Intellivision are being made by German college kids. Like, it is a mess. It is an absolute mess. The SEC is actively investigating Intellivision for misrepresentation in investment documents. That was fun. Intellivision claims that they've submitted final specs for the device for approval to the FCC, because you need to get like a transmittal license for like finished hardware.
Right.
By the way, you can find the FCC approval documents for both the Steam Deck and the Playdate. Like, they're easily accessible. You can just go find, like, oh, yep, there's the Playdate's approval, there's the Steam Deck's approval. And, like, nobody can find the Intellivision Amico's, like, finished FCC approval. And it's like, well, how are you... He's like, we've moved to production, we're actively in manufacturing. Now, apparently what he means by that is he has employees, like, building these things by fucking hand at their offices in California. And it's like, you literally cannot distribute these things until you have FCC approval. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, it's a mess. It is an absolute mess. And, like...
It continues to be a mess.
It's an alt-right shill. Like, he's out there, like, building this thing on, like, telling people, like, Nintendo consoles are porno machines, you know? Like, there's child pornography on Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo hates your children. Like, you need a television amico. And it's like, people are buying this. Like, people are, people are going to buy this shitty box to own the libs, and it's amazing.
Well, yeah.
I can't wait to play Vaccines Aren't Real for Intellivision Amico.
Oh my god.
You guys have any feelings on the mess that Intellivision has been all year?
I mean, I think it's so dumb. I hope people don't spend a lot of money on it. But I know some people will. I just hope I don't know any of those people. I hope those people aren't people I care about.
This feels almost like a Kickstarter that's gone horridly awry. But it's worse. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because with a Kickstarter, the people who had thrown money at it would not have a promise of return on the money. You're just expecting at some point to get garbage in the mail.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, you either get garbage in the mail or, like, Kickstarter has, like, protections to refund your money if they fuck up.
I mean, that's also true.
But this is like, we're going to get you rich. And
yep. And they sure as fuck are not.
Yeah. Like, he literally has investment documents out there promising people 10 times return.
10?
10, yes.
That's insane! No one promises 10! That's fucking stupid! Oh my god. Whatever. Ugh.
The only thing I would promise 10 times return on is fucking Girl Scout cookies.
Oh my god. And even then you usually get 4.
Right?
God damn it.
And so I know we've said it before in the past, but, like, honestly, talk to your old people about... Talk to your old people about scams.
Yeah. Fuck.
You know, don't let them get caught. And not just Amico, like, make sure that they don't get caught with NFTs on OpenSea. Like, make sure your old people don't get caught.
Make sure your grandma isn't in love with a man who's currently deployed in South Africa and he just needs like $1,000
right.
to come home.
Oh man,
that's also a thing.
I was talking to my cousin at Thanksgiving actually, and he was saying that Call of Duty was his game, and I wasn't gonna. He's off. Like, I love him to death, but I know he's not keeping up with the Activision news. I don't think he has any idea, and so like he was talking about how like other friends had been trying to get him into like other games in the past. And I actually pitched him Forza Horizon 5, and I think he's biting on it. I think he might actually do it. He plays mostly on PC, so we'll see what happens.
Well, it's a good place to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, is that everyone? Is that everything?
Yeah. That's everyone and everything.
Okay, everyone.
That's episode 1 of our Game of the Year coverage.
Yeah.
Just the news.
We're here on Possible Coin. Thank you for hanging out for our industry retrospective. Next week we will be back with our Resident Games episode. It will probably be 6 hours long. Please understand, because we're going to talk about every game that we personally connected with this year, and we're not going to stop talking until we're done. That's actually how that's going to go. So that one will probably come with like what's the word? It's like thorough, comprehensive timestamps.
Yeah, there you go.
Just so you can see the list, so you like, even if you don't want to dig through everything we want to say, like, you'll at least know what we're talking about, because it's gonna be on the longer side. I have no doubt in my mind. But thank you for being here for this. I am going
to try and be a little bit choosier. I remember like last year, Resident Games was the one of our 4 episodes where we all, I think, felt it hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm going to try to be a little bit choosier.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
I mean, honestly, I feel like a good rule is still to be to talk about everything you want to talk about with it, because like that's going to replace basically like all the superlatives. But like we're not doing ranked lists, we're not fighting about it. It's just like, hey, this is a game that we care about, and we think it's music, it's art, it's like gameplay was dope, and here's why. And like, you know, like that takes some time. That is worthy of some discussion. So. I think that's fine, but outside of that, once again, we are Impossible Coin. We do this every week. There are some weeks in between that, you know, stuff happens, but you know, life happens. I hope you understand. You can find us where podcasts are found: iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Once again, fuck SoundCloud. Except for this one spot, there's one thing about SoundCloud that we personally, as a show, find great, and that is Big Sach. He made the music at the beginning and end of our podcast. You can find him at soundcloud.com/BigSachNJ. Please show him some love. And if you want to talk to him directly, you can find him on Twitter at Hillary_Swank. Our logo was also designed by Lauren Moran. She did a Black Friday sale last week. And she always has some good shit going on. So check her out. She's on Twitter at Lauren Moran, and consider donating to her Patreon. And you may or may not know, but we have a Patreon too at patreon.com/ImpossibleCoinPodcast. That's where we keep our artisanal show notes, our bespoke watch-alongs, and audio essays about things that we care about. So keep an eye out for stuff like that. And if you want to support us there, we'd obviously appreciate it. And if you just want to talk to us, if you want to get at any of us, we are on social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Brian's on Twitter, and Tegan's on Tumblr. It's just Impossible Coin. No dashes or underscores or anything weird like that. But that's us. That's the show.
If you really want to know what we think of The Princess Switch 3, Fudgens Gets Real.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, is that where we're at? Isn't that a scary movie?
It is a scary movie, Teeks.
Am I gonna be okay? I doubt it. We'll see. Listen to me scream for real, just like I did in the Jaws movie. Okay.
Peace.
Bye.
Later.